Hey, hey, hey. Banana. Oh, oh, oh. Badoo, 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 doo, doo, doo. Badoo, badoo, badoo. Hi, everybody. It's your boy, the Fluff. How is everybody today? It's come off a great auction from the Conky. Congratulations. Also want to give out a shout out to Trajan Lugibus on their wedding. So give me a second. I'll be back. Do do do. Banana. Na, na, na. Question: why a carrot orange? Hi, Tim. Squashy, can you send out the link to Cody and everybody in, please? And Ma and Willow
Yeah,
and
I'll have to come off here.
yeah, that's fine. Just come back in and you've got the code. Hi, Tim. Yeah, you can do. Squashy's going to send the code over, Tim. Yeah, I'm not putting it in live chat anymore because a bunch of weirdos jump in. So Squashy's going to send the code over. If you want to just join in, that way in. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. I also need to ask you, why a carrot orange? I need the answer to this question tonight. Why a carrot orange? You send it to Ma as well.
Yeah.
And Tim will send it to Ma via Messenger as well. All right, so let's hope they come in. Cody should be on it.
Tim's on about coming in.
Yeah, like I say, I've sent it to Ma. I don't have his number on WhatsApp. Otherwise, I would have sent it over. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Nah, nah. Right. A question for you, Squashy.
Yes.
Why are carrots orange?
I don't know.
Right, that's your answer. That's right. We ask everybody the same thing.
I was random.
You have 7 people in the chat, so well, boom.
I think everyone's asleep.
No. Tim said, give me a minute.
Yeah, Cody says she'll be here in a sec.
Maverick Fruit, hi, Kate. Yeah, I don't think that's right.
What?
Why are carrots orange? I'll tell you what, I'm gonna go and send out. Okay. Give me a minute, I'm just gonna send out the link.
Yeah, send it to Kate if she's not got it.
Hold it. Take over for a bit, babe.
I'll try. Hi, everyone.
Entertain the masses.
Mind that they sat in the sun too long. Hi, Joyce. Fluffy will be back in a bit.
Yeah. There'll be 2 seconds, people.
Hi, Willow. I think you're done on the messenger, Willow.
Hi, Joyce. Just send out a few emails for people that coming in.
I sent Willow's on messenger.
Yeah, that's fine. This is hi, Squishy and Fluffy.
Hi,
Send your link
Willow.
Send your link via Messenger. Will do me a favor. Send it to the old man, will you? And send it to Jamie as well, please. Pip.
Okay.
Banana, ooh, ooh, ooh. Banana, ooh, who's this? Oh, crap. Everybody, watch out the way. Hey, honey.
Hi, I heard that.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Same crap, different day, but I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah. I hear that.
What have you been up to?
We're looking at it.
Nothing.
Yeah, pretty much. I
Yeah.
got some sleep, so that was good.
You got some sleep? Wow.
I did. Hi, Squashy.
Hi, Cody.
Squash has been doing me code sending out or upper.
Yeah, I was in Robin's live because she has her tarot card reader on. I got there just in time to watch Robin get a general reading done on her and Devin and
Okay, Tim.
And Bobby.
You can go back if you want.
No, I just wanted to make sure Robin was. I just wanted to check and make sure Robin was all safe and sound because she cut off the damn video last night and gave us a cliffhanger.
Right. Hello, Willow. Right. Before you go any further, Cody, I need to ask you a question.
I didn't know it.
Why are carrots orange?
Because they have keratin in them.
Right. Willow.
Ditto.
Why are carrots orange?
Because they have keratin in them.
Right. The question of the day. Everybody's getting asked the same question.
How about my question of the day? Why are flamingos pink?
Because they're not green.
Flamingos are pink because they eat shrimp.
Yep.
No, it's because they're not green.
There are black flamingos, but
Yeah.
There are actually green flamingos.
But that is why.
That must be because they eat fluffy funk.
Probably. What the hell are you being on, Willow?
She got you.
Hey, Tim.
Hello.
Hey,
Hi,
Tim.
Tim.
Hello.
Hey, Tim, need to ask you a question.
Yeah,
Why are carrots orange?
because that's the way God made them, and it's keratin or something or other.
Tim has a dual answer. Kat, really? Right now you choose to do that? Seriously?
She was seeing mine. I went to go have a pee before I came on. And she was in. I've got a garden tub that is angled,
Mhm.
you know, it's cockeyed and wide, and then there's a sitting area back behind. She was sitting on the sitting area.
Mhm.
Well, unfortunately, they put mirrors on both walls of that corner. And she sits there and serenades herself in the mirrors. Me, I've been trying to pry the mirrors off the wall, but I'm just going to have to replace the sheetrock.
Well, I haven't tested Diego with a full-size mirror yet. I'm kind of scared in case he tries headbutting it.
The mirror I own is this big. That's it. That's it.
Yeah, well, I only have a small one. It's in my bathroom, and he never gets near it.
Yeah.
Oh, crap.
We have one in the bathroom, but
Watch your ears, people.
Hello. Hi, Tim.
Hi, Squeak.
Hello, Kate.
Hello. How you doing?
No,
I'm
bad.
still breathing.
Have you been tracking your parcel? Squeak?
Sorry, my phone got out of range of the internet, so I'm going to move to the front room where I'm not going to get cut off.
Okay.
Fluffy, did I tell you that my roommate measured my table so I know that it will fit in my room in the space that I want?
All right, cool.
Yeah, you know how he measured it? It's so American. Measurement cannot get any more American than
Took
this.
his hands and went like this.
Nope, it's even more American than
With a
that.
stick.
Nope, more American than that.
He
Footsteps.
didn't lob it out, did he?
Broom handle.
No. I keep my rooms locked up, Tim. No illegal travel.
I'm sorry.
Right.
He comes in and he goes, the table is this and a half long, and he's holding a rifle in his hand.
Alrighty.
And I was like, awesome. How wide is it? He goes, oh, hold on. And he goes running back in the room, and he comes back out and he goes, this long, one of these. And I'm like, so it's 1.5 rifles long, and it's 1 rifle wide. He goes, yeah. I'm like, okay, hold the butt of the rifle against the wall. So he did, and it overhangs, like the barrel overhangs the bed about this much. But the table legs inset about here.
Yeah.
So it will still fit in the space. It will just overhang the bed just a little bit.
Gotcha.
That'll probably be better for you.
So that is how Americans measure things, by rifle length, apparently.
That's how rednecks measure.
No,
And he is.
that's a hillbilly measure.
Yeah, here goes. There you go.
Get this, it's so cute. He has a rebel flag he hung up like sideways, like long ways down in his room. It's backwards.
Ah.
It's got writing on it, and the writing is on the inside, so it's all reversed. I'm like, that's backwards, right? Yeah, I'm like, he is a true American redneck. He really is. He's
That worked.
he's racist as hell too, but
Yeah.
he doesn't. It's not like
Bad.
he doesn't do it. He doesn't do it as much around me because he knows I don't like
Okay,
it.
Ma. Love you.
Love you, Mom.
Thank you for setting your man up on the computer.
Love you,
Yeah.
Tina.
Thank you,
Love you,
dear.
Tina.
Love you, Tina.
We'll keep good care of him, I promise.
I was going to do this. I was just getting ready to have her set me up, and you went ba-ding, ba-ding, and I'm like, well, okay.
FOMO, you don't want to miss out.
Yeah. I was going to go live.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was going to go live. And then I was fixing to have her set me up to help me get it on the computer because I've never done that. And
Yeah.
you went ba-ding, ba-ding, and it's like, okay, never mind. I'll just go on Fluffy.
Well, yeah, because Yeah, since the two of you each have an account, you get 40 hours with the free stuff because you just switch off. Yeah. See, John's account is actually still hooked up on this, and I could use it, but that would make me feel kind of creepy, you know?
Yeah.
I understand that.
Yeah, Squeaky,
Yeah,
have you checked your email for your tracking number?
I don't think I have. Hang on.
To what?
I told everybody about the presents you got me, Fluffy. I'm so excited.
What presents?
My sparklies
What's
that you got me from Lenny.
I don't know what you're about.
I do.
I do.
Conky.
Great, Conky!
Hey, Conky.
Conky, I've sent you the link via email.
Via email. He sounds so
Don't
fancy.
put it in chat anymore.
Via email. So
Gee, I
fancy.
wonder why.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Why? What happened?
That's great. Willow showed
Sorry,
the face.
creep.
I missed it.
I told him. I said, send it in an email. You can even group it for all your core people, and it would just be one. And or something. Just do something. Don't put it in the fucking chat. Because even
Oh,
if
I
it's
know.
live, he can still get it on StreamYard.
Yep, I know why.
I'm listening, though, aren't I?
And he did it.
Yes.
Yay.
Surprised the holy shit out of me. Considering the other night, last time he was live, he was dropping it in the chat again. But apparently something must have reminded him of why don't do that.
Yeah. Wait, what was that, Kate?
I tried to look up on my phone, but it kicked me off this, so I'm going to try it on my laptop and look for it.
Okay. The email should be from Auction for Stooges. Okay. Yeah, so check your Conky's Flippin' Adventures email, Conky, for El Linko.
I just realized Lenny
If
had
you come up in here, I need to have a discussion with you, Conky, so that'll work.
Okay, so the binging is not Lenny. Okay.
Let's stop standing. I don't think it. No, I
I'm
left
spaced out. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be.
What?
I said
I
if
must
I,
have accidentally got rid of it because my computer was filling out with messages.
That's all right. I got to send it in for you.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Oh, what's him?
if I look like I zone out, space out, it's been a rough day.
Oh, I'm
Kind
sorry.
of wore out, but I'm up for staying up. I feel good. I'm just tired.
Yeah.
That's okay.
I get like that. I
Tired,
would give you big bear squishes if I could.
Yeah. Get best squish off that. You'll be flattened.
There we go.
I give good hugs. I'm squishy.
and
Not
hugs for Willow and Squishy too.
Oh, thank you, dear.
Yep.
Thank you, Tim.
So I never seen a comment from you, Mr. Fluffy Buffy, for my little short the other day.
Your pardon?
I never seen a comment from you the other day for my little short video I did.
Did you do a short video?
Uh-huh.
Hi, Conky. Hi, Noreen.
Miss Cody and Miss Willows and Miss Squishy all commented on it.
Mhm.
I'll have
We did.
to have a look.
It was only like 30 seconds long, but
Yeah, we're going to have a look.
hi, Mr. Conky. Hi, Miss Noreen.
I know.
Hi, boss.
Squashy, Cuddy, fuck yeah.
Good auction tonight, guys.
Hi, guys.
And look, I know that Cecilia, whatever, she comes in a lot, but I did warn her to stop saying sold.
Oh, okay.
Because
I did as well.
yeah, and he did as well. That's his job, and it disrupts things when other people randomly say sold. So I did warn her, and I only timed her out. I didn't boot her completely. So
Yeah, that's all right. Does it? I've never been timed out or booted. Does it tell you when you've been?
Yeah.
It didn't tell me when Fluffy did it to me.
It does if you try and write again.
Yeah, if you try and type something again, it tells you.
Okay.
Yep. But I warned her, and I told her point blank, if you put sold in the room in the chat again, I will time you out. And then she said done. I was like, okay, we'll leave it alone, and I left it alone. And all of a sudden, she popped up with sold again. I'm like, nah, bitch, bye. Boom.
Did you tag her in the when you said that, or did you just?
Yeah.
You're sure she saw it? Okay.
Yeah, she saw it.
First time she was ever in our chat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Lenny.
because it's disruptive and it distracts people. So you want a nice clean auction, damn it.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
It was a great auction. Hey, I enjoyed that one.
I got you.
Yeah, thanks, Conky, though. You could have rigged the giveaway.
Rigged what?
Rigged the giveaway.
I'll tell you what. I never thought I was going to give that thing away. It's just I didn't. I knew what my trivia question was going to be. I just never picked out anything to give away.
Go get the tea.
I missed the shirt, so I didn't participate because I
had to be the Dukes, though, didn't it? Of all the things, had to be the Dukes.
I could hear Fluffy crying all the way from Scotland to here.
Right?
I could hear him.
I was cursing.
Poor Fluffy.
Oh, woe is me.
Yeah, it was the only thing in reach. We were going to give away an Indians mug, and she said, "No, nobody's going to want an Indians mug. It's local."
Yeah.
All right, grab it.
You know what he did? He said, "What can make my main moderator cry the most?" Grab the Dukes of Hazzard stuff.
I was hoping he saw that video and knew exactly what word to put in there.
I did. I just forgot. I love that video because I commented on it, remember?
Yeah.
It's just obviously if I have fits between then, I can't remember shit.
Poor Fluffy. Fluffy needs a drop-size cloth hanky at this point. Okay.
Yeah.
He'll survive.
It's like the other day, I was in my own auction, right? And one of my own stooges brings out a very, very old, generally, mint on card.
Oh, wow.
For $40. And I couldn't afford it.
Oh, that card's worth $100 at least.
I know.
On the card.
I know.
We watched Fluffy cry that day, too.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong.
Let's just say the pond is a bit deeper after that tearjerker.
I have one.
Yeah, that's not the one you want.
No, it was the one I had. All this was orange.
Yeah, Erdl.
Yeah.
The old Erdl one's worth $100.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, Jerry.
That's okay. He was auctioning off Lady Death stuff somewhere the other night. I was
Yeah,
like,
we're gonna be really, Jerry.
I'm like, no, not my Lady Death stuff. I was crying myself, so I hear you, Fluffy.
I really, really wanted that car, though.
Nobody bought it, so he still has it as far as I know.
Yeah, same with that car. Hopefully he doesn't sell it and I can make a deal with him.
I wanted those ornaments that he was selling. Even though I'm not putting up a tree this year, I will eventually put up a tree, but maybe next year. But
yeah,
I wanted the Lady Death and the Jade and the Purgatory.
Yeah, Conky, we've done that video you requested. Okay. I'm just going to go through it, watch it, make sure there's no F's and Q's and.
Okay, yeah, just I can bleep out anything you want bleeped out, but you know how to get it to me on WhatsApp.
Yeah.
All right.
Are we having secret videos now?
Yeah, just on a project we're working on together.
I feel left out.
I got a in the email today, and I want to share it.
Okay.
Oh. What the hell?
That is cute.
Willow, can you send that to Kid via Messenger, please?
Oh, that is cute.
Yeah, let me see if I can do that.
Thank you. That is epic.
It's adorable, isn't it?
Oh my.
It was shared actually on one of my doll groups, and it came via email. And
that's cute.
Yeah.
Right. Well, since I've asked everybody else, Conky and Noreen, question of the day: why are carrots orange?
Why what?
Why are carrots orange?
Why are carrots?
Is this a dad joke?
No.
No.
Fluffy joke. We're usually worse than dad jokes.
There's a reason it's in the ground and it turns orange. I don't know. Why is a carrot orange?
I don't know. Why is it orange?
I don't know. Good question.
Wait, Miss Kate Smedley. Why are carrots
Yeah.
orange?
I did a joke saying maybe they're set in the sun too long.
God made them that way, and it's keratin that makes them orange.
Yeah, it's keratin makes them orange.
So
I wanted funny answers.
keratin's always
guys.
been around.
Not pedantic answers. I wanted funny answers.
Do what?
I'm sorry, Fluffy. I have to answer questions, accurately.
Here's your answer. Because all the other colors were on fire.
There you go.
Yay!
And Tina says not all carrots are orange. Some are purple.
Yeah.
There are purple carrots. Yes.
I got it sent to Kate.
Thank you. Just like there's also purple potatoes.
Yep.
Hey, go get that book there. Tell me
What
the
book?
to tell me why book.
The what?
Up there on top of the
Yeah.
cookies is an old book.
It's like, why is Conky called Conky?
Hang on.
Why
is Fluffy called Fluffy?
Hockey. All right. There's a Canadian comedy show called Trailer Park Boys. If you got Netflix, check it out. But one of the characters on there is a there's
Everything is a hammer, unless it's a screwdriver. Then it's a what?
A chisel.
From Caddyshack.
one of the greatest comic classics of all time.
Yes.
Here's little stuff.
Tired.
Tired? What you gotta be
I'm
tired
just
about?
tired. Been up all day.
What are you gonna be tired about? You've done that all day.
I've been up all day.
Conky, you shouldn't be tired. Be untired right now.
Sure. You know what's
Have an
good?
energy
I'm
drink.
tired. I'm gonna go to sleep.
Eat a carrot.
Finally,
That'll do it.
Do not eat Olaf's nose.
He'd probably fall asleep and impale himself on it.
Do not
Probably.
eat Olaf's nose.
Then he'd look like a unicorn.
Oh, funny you should say that.
Uh-oh.
Well, here we go. Tim's coming up with the dad jokes. Lost unicorn.
If found, please stop doing drugs.
I've got some work friends on. Yeah, that's not really work. I guess maybe it is, but
So,
I've got a dad joke for you.
oh, come on then.
Why don't crabs give to charity?
Don't know.
Because they're shellfish.
Uh-huh. A cute, clean one.
Anyway, Conky,
Hmm.
when's the next Duke's item coming up on Wilson?
Fluffy wants to prepare for it.
Yeah, he needs a timestamp and everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I need to save.
Yeah.
Oh, if we come across that,
We've got plenty of Duke stuff. I wasn't planning on.
well,
Never let Fluffy come to your house.
I ain't bothered about anything else.
No,
You
you don't
keep every
wanna-
other item. It's just Duke's has it.
Fluffy will plant himself wherever the cars are, and you will not have any communication whatsoever ever again.
You'll just
Until
see
he's
a
ready
trail
to
of
leave, and then he's going to walk out looking like a very deformed Oompa Loompa.
You'll just see a trail of drool.
They ain't supposed to have bulges.
All you will hear is "Yeehaw!" That's all you'll hear,
Diddly-doo,
and that.
It'll be clankety 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 with his pockets full of stuff walking out the door.
Yeah.
Conky,
I was
you
thinking
have to
pant
get the
legs,
Dixie
not
horn.
just a good old boy.
I can't hear. What would you say, Fluffy?
You have to get the Dixie horn for your truck.
Oh, yeah.
My uncle actually had that. He had one of those boxes that you could put on your car. Well, he put it in his truck, and it had all kinds of different things you could program into it. And the best one was when he was trying to get through traffic, and he played the Death March, like the funeral march. Yeah, people actually got out of his way because of that, because he drove a pretty big truck.
It's like one of the guys I watched on.
He did have the Dixie horn. He would blow it every time I was at my grandmother's house. And
One of the guys I watch, he's got the new style Dodge Charger, but it's orange, and he installed the Dixie horn in it. And it's just,
But did he paint the flag on the roof?
no,
No.
he didn't even paint over one other side.
That would get his car firebombed these days.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I've still got Rob Schneider on my list as well. I watch his videos all the time.
Yeah, he's got a channel.
Yeah, I know. I'm so.
I still watch the B movies that he's in. Like there was Night of the Twister, I think, is one of them.
Yeah.
And other than that, I mean, he still acts perfectly fine, even though most of the other people in the movies don't. His acting is still on
I
point.
didn't realize he drove most of the stunts.
Yeah.
So
He did.
Yep.
He lied about his age to get on that show. He told
He
me
did.
he
yeah,
was early 20s and he was only like 19.
tell you something. One hell of a driver though.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
Well, when
Or
you're
still
that
is.
young, you're willing to do anything, I think.
Mm.
Although you could always tell when it wasn't him because they did not have an accurate wig on the. You know, you're like, that is so not Bo's hair. What are you doing? You know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
anytime the car
Yeah.
left the ground, he
Yeah.
wasn't allowed to do it. But
Yeah, insurance purposes.
Yeah.
But the guy would have a mullet. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah. Or it would be really scraggly sticking out from under the
Yeah.
head. It's like, no.
Yeah. And there'd be no other guy in the other side.
Yeah. Luke wouldn't be there. It's like, did he throw him out of the car for the jump? What are you doing?
My little brother was into Catherine Bach big time. He was like only.
Oh, I wish I was in Catherine back to tell you.
She could drive like, she could drive like a fiend too. She.
Hey, I wish I was in Catherine back and Jessica Simpson. Oof.
I liked Catherine Bach. Jessica Simpson, not so much.
The only time I liked Jessica Simpson was when she was washing the car in the song.
Of course. Duh.
Boots are made.
You perv.
What?
Well, how many
I don't
people
like the remake. I don't think they should have. I do not think they should have remade Dukes of Hazzard. It was a classic. It worked, and it was fine. They should not have remade that. That was an
Even though
insult.
they shouldn't.
Oh,
However,
yeah, they did about 15 years ago.
Yeah.
however,
Was the
I still think they shouldn't have had Johnny Knoxville. The other guy, yes, not Johnny
No.
Knoxville.
wasn't
Johnny
that,
Knoxville was no. Mm-mm.
and wasn't that guy from American Pie movies the one that would play Luke?
Stifler,
Stifler, yeah.
Yeah.
John Williams something.
Sean
John-
William Scott, yeah.
I mean, you shouldn't have somebody from the Jackass playing Luke. You know what I mean? It's,
I mean, Sean William Scott did a good boy, but
I'm sorry, I'm just partial to the original. And having a blonde play, you know, no.
Jay-Z. Yeah.
Yeah, no. They got to try. That's the problem these days. They got to try and remake everything that works. It's like, no, take the shit that didn't work, remake it so it does work.
Exactly.
You know?
New ideas.
Well, the remake of Back to the Future. Yeah.
Yeah, they're remaking all kinds of
You
stuff,
can't remake Back to Future. No.
but they are.
Oh no.
It's called Back to the Future: The Future Years.
Because they're trying to glom onto the stuff that worked so that they make money, and they're
No, it's because it's
the originals.
50-year or something anniversary to Back to the Future.
Yeah, they're ruining the originals.
And it's kind of sad in a way because I don't know if you guys have been on the news, up on the news, but Michael J. Fox has been really having some issues to the point now he's not even trying to do any kind of acting anymore.
No.
Yeah, he's done for he
Yeah.
can't function. I seen a post about that the other day. He said he has officially quit and is not doing. He's backed out of everything he had plans on doing because of his health.
Yeah, his Parkinson's is bad.
Yeah,
But I mean, I got mad when someone told me they did a remake of Mary Poppins, and I got pissed. I was like, no, they can't do that. I mean, oh my god! But then when I watched it, it wasn't a remake; it was a continuation. I'm like, oh, that's okay.
yeah, it was actually pretty cool.
If they do that, it's fine, but don't remake what's already been done. You know, no.
Well, look at the
Very
Ghostbusters.
angry.
I think we've gone in the wrong direction with that as well.
Oh, that was sacrilege too, than the Ghostbusters. No.
Yeah, we don't want to talk about Star Wars. Don't get me going on Star Wars.
I don't understand. Hey, there's a different room with the kid in the
Same room, just going up on the chair instead of sitting on the ground.
Yeah, piles of shit on the ground.
Yeah, Noreen, I'm a huge Star Wars fan. We just don't want to get me started on what Disney did to the last 3 movies.
The kids.
Hey, speak of the devil.
First 3 movies, all the work that movies. No feedback in them days.
Hey, big dog! Not seen you in a while. How are you?
He's been buried in all the political bullshit. I think that's what he meant. Well, you know what?
Jerry.
You're in the South, dude. You got a shovel. Dig your way out.
Hey, Jerry. Hey, big dog.
Star Wars does not suck. In general, the last 3 movies. Well, see, I mean, the last 3 movies were well made, and the effects were really good, but it wasn't the storyline that it originally was. They fucked it up.
Hi, Jerry. Hi, big dog.
Jerry, I've sent you the link via email, brother.
Did something happen to the chat that made you make the decision to send the links out via email?
I had a discussion with somebody on the panel, and there was a lot of people jumping in that we didn't want jumping in, and a lot of people trying to just be weird.
Yeah.
And
So
I remember some of the weird. I know that.
that could click on the StreamYard in the chat and
Is
come
there
in
a reason
anyway.
you
even though
don't
they're
say his
blocked.
name?
one at a time, people.
Is there a reason you're not saying his name?
Who?
The person who was annoying.
No, because there's more than one.
Oh, well, I know one of them was that historian guy. He was annoying.
Yeah. But there's more than one, and then you get people coming in with the schlongs hanging out.
That's true.
You know, and you don't want that. You know what I mean? So
Noreen, that's not even the worst. Noreen, that's not even the worst part with the schlongs hanging out. It's the fact that they were nothing to brag about. They were not impressive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Dinky Schlong.
Itty Winky Committee. Ugh.
put it this way.
Yeah. And that's being generous. When you can't see it beyond their hand, it is not anything you want to put on video.
Q-tip.
It's not just the tip, that's the whole thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Just the tip.
Oh,
If you've ever had one of those dates that you have to ask, is it in yet? That would be the people coming on video. It's horrible.
Ooh. Ooh. Mine. Put it in my box.
I think Fluffy wants your watch, Tim.
oh.
Fluffy $1.
Tim's like, yeah, it doesn't have a box over here, dude.
You can have that.
Well, that's from the movie Cars.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought I had a rubber balanced on the top of it.
Right. He is the guy that I love to hate.
Oh, those are cool.
Hi, Jerry.
That's the
Yay!
silhouette.
A certain car that you had up in the auction that I can't afford.
Tires like that just scream to be hit with a dagger.
This one says manufacturer for
And he still has me T-shirt hanging up on his window.
McD Corp 2004 Mattel.
Hey, Jerry.
Hello.
Jerry, show that Dukes of Hazzard car. Oh, that.
No, not that.
Come on.
Hi, boss.
Hi.
Hi, boss. Jerry.
Jerry.
Oh.
Jerry, do you have that car that you had up?
I see Han Solo in the background there. I want that picture.
Yeah. He's got my shirt hanging up on his window.
Yeah, I
What
don't
I
care about
keep
the
waiting
window. I
to
can see
see-
Han Solo.
Is the red car with the little white thing down the side.
Eh?
Starsky and Hutch.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah. You like the sausage.
striped tomato.
You mean this one?
Huggy Bear.
You mean that one?
Yeah, that's the original Ertl.
Oh.
Oh.
And nobody would bid $40 on that.
That's okay. I sold it for 50.
Oh,
And Puppy's crying again. Jerry, I saw that you tried to auction off the ornaments again.
I was
Did you
ready to
sell
make
them?
an offer.
What? Everybody's talking.
I'm not.
Fluffy always interrupts me. Did you sell the ornaments, the Lady Death and the Purgatory and the Jade and all that? Yeah, those.
No,
Good.
I'm gonna break them all this Christmas.
No! You see what he does to me?
Because it aggravates the hell out of them when I say these things.
No.
So just like this, take this one.
No!
Jade.
No!
We're gonna see
No!
if it's made of jade.
No! You know what amazes me is that for months I was asking people if they had Lady Death stuff, right? Nobody even knew what I was talking about. Now all of a sudden you have Lady Death stuff and everybody is like, do you have any more Lady Death stuff? Lady Death is awesome. I'm like, everybody better back off my bitch.
But they're paying me for it.
I know.
And somebody's pouting over there.
He is. Which is why I'm just going to keep talking.
Yeah, Cody. If you want his bitch, you got to pay for it.
I know. Jerry is the Lady Death hoe or pimp. Fluffy's going to mute me in a minute.
Oh, Tim's got the. Is that a Hot Wheels puzzle, Tim?
Yeah.
I
48 pieces, it's all there by Cardinal.
Huh.
Yeah, Fluffy's crying because his car is gone.
This one,
here
Big
for it.
Dog,
Is that built or unbuilt, or is it sealed, or what's?
unbuilt.
It's not. Oh,
Yeah, I saw your puzzle was sealed, Tim. Your puzzle's sealed, right?
no, the top is open, but all the pieces are here. Because when I got it out of the bins, I checked it.
I
Fluffy,
hate
it's already orange.
So that's got the Jerry. That's got the tires and everything in there.
Yeah.
Huh.
I hate to burst your bubble, Tim.
Uh-huh.
Cardinal's a Dollar Tree puzzle brand.
Okay.
That's not bursting your bubble.
That's fine.
Still a Hot Wheels puzzle.
Well, they're also hard to get because they're like the first to go. So
Yeah. I just seen it and thought it was cool because,
well, yeah.
But it's filled.
With what?
Cars.
With Hot Wheels, you
Well,
going
I'm
ahead?
looking at the cars to see what cars are in there.
Close, yeah. Uh-huh.
Some are from 1988.
It's filled with Hot Wheels, you silly.
2002. This one's 1988.
The flying.
Huh.
That's a 1994. And then you get like this.
Well, that's cute.
That's Fluffy's backhoe for when he gets in trouble.
We need a bigger one than that. This one doesn't have a date.
But you had it.
Hey, Funky,
Mm-hmm.
turn my camera on real quick.
There you go.
This one's Cheerios car or Lucky Charms car. I think.
But I put that up. Nobody wanted to buy it.
Huh. I did pretty well with my cars tonight, but those were some pretty nice cars with the Star Wars cars in there and everything.
Oh, I look at the die-cast trucks. I love those.
Nice.
Yeah.
Tim, you know which cars I want of yours. The old
I
one.
know. They're out in the shed.
Fluffy has been very quiet.
On that video I
Interesting
sent
advert.
you, by email the other day, Conky,
Yeah.
I will, those little minis is what I was just showing you. I will try to, Tina suggested maybe I set up a chat with you through the computer like this, except just you and I.
Yeah.
And I go through each one of those cars because those are my neighbor's cars, the ones I sent you that video of.
Yeah, I saw it.
And just go through each one individually with you through like a chat like this or something whenever you have time.
Yeah, the bigger ones, the Hot Wheels, were kind of like the ones I sold tonight.
Uh-huh.
Those are, those are good for like resale or something like that. The Galoob, if those mini ones are Galoob.
I was just looking at them. Everything says China on them. And it says Mattel.
The little ones, I don't know where Galoob made most. I thought Galoob made their stuff in China.
Okay. That's the only marking I've seen on them, but
just they didn't say Galoob on them or anything?
No.
Okay.
A couple of them said made for McDonald's Corp. And the others all just said China from what I could tell on them. But of course, I don't have real good light. I mean, I got light, but not real good light.
Yeah, well, they're small to begin with. You almost need, one of these magnifying glasses to look at it.
Hey, I have that magnifying glass, Honky.
This one?
Yeah, it's the same one I have.
I bought. There's electronics. The Avon one says Avon on it.
Oh, I don't know. I got mine at Walmart.
We're in the electronics store that went out of business a few years ago by me.
Yeah.
They had a bunch of magnifying glasses, and I bought.
I guess I could have used that.
Yeah, jeweler's loops work well.
Yeah.
Only because I want to pick on Cody because it was so much fun the last time.
Oh, it's not
when
fun.
we had this conversation. You don't have to put me big, Fluffy. You were so intent on getting Trump out. Did you see the newest thing the Democrats just did?
No.
They are now saying that if you cannot speak English, you are considered disabled and able to get Social Security.
Mm-hmm.
That's your buddy Biden. And he
I have
also
issues
gave
speaking,
the
so
blacks free housing now. They don't have to pay rent. Isn't that nice?
Well, if disabled means you don't have to pay rent, then I should be rent free at this point.
Nope. We have to pay for them. Because
Okay.
we're the Americans here. That's what they said. Aren't you happy that you got the big orange man out and you put this moron in?
We're exchanging one more on for the other, so sure.
No. You got a worse one in there.
Don't
So you
worry.
said-
You're gonna run this country.
Yeah, Biden's not actually going to be president for any amount
No,
of time.
it's going to be the girl. In about 5 months, 6 months, they're going to say Biden is not mentally competent and they're going to take him out and put her in.
Yeah, well, I mean, we knew that anyway.
But that was just announced today. Those two wonderful things that the Democrats do. So when everything goes up, they weren't wrong.
Oh, yeah, the heating bills are going to go up. The gas is going to go up. The gas is going to... It's going to cost so much to heat your house, you're going to wind up freezing your bones off. If you're, well, I mean, for us up here, if you're down south, it's going to cost like hell to cool it. But
But it is what it is. Just letting you know. And also, I am making it official here today. After December is done, I'm not selling anymore.
What? Where am I going to get my Lady Death fix?
Because I'm getting to the point where everything that I have is too high priced and nobody's touching the prices on them.
makes sense.
So I cannot be here trying to sell, like, let's say, like this book and say I want $50 for it, when even though it's a $150 book and nobody's giving it to me. I'm wasting my time.
But I can still check with you about Lady Death stuff, right?
If I'm around.
So,
Okay.
so those of you who, how are you guys feel about the new YouTube fun thing they're going to start doing by popping commercials on people's videos that aren't monetized?
I didn't know about it.
Yeah.
yeah, they came out and said that they have the right to monetize any video regardless of whether or not you're in the partner program or not.
Well, I'm waiting for when they start charging everyone for being on here.
I think that's where it's going. I'm sorry, but that's
that's where it's going to go because they're going to want their pound of flesh.
Yeah.
They're seeing the money being made, and they're not getting a piece of it.
Well, they are getting a piece of it. They're just not,
No, they're only getting a piece from the people that can put on commercials on their site. Everybody else who can't, which is a lot more than what can, they're not getting any money from them.
That's what they just did. They just 3 days ago said that they're going to start putting commercials on all video, whether you're monetized or not. But they're just not going to give. If you've got under 1,000 subs and under 4,000 watch hours, they're going to start putting commercials on your videos now. But they're just not going to give you money for it.
I don't think that's right. I think that if they put advertisers on there, they should pay the person whose channel it is.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I mean, it just makes sense, doesn't it?
And that makes you wonder how much that percentage they're giving to monetized channels as it gets smaller.
But here's how it's worded. Everybody says that that's what it means. What it actually says is they have the right to monetize your channel and not give you anything, no matter who you are, or what what your monetization status.
Yeah.
So they can come along to a little channel like me and say, well, we've got the right to monetize your videos. We're not going to give you any money anymore. I know we gave you this little bit here up to the 18th. We're just not going to pay anymore. They can do that.
And you watch how quick people are going to dive off of YouTube.
Let's go back to Twitch.
They're ending Twitch, aren't they?
Yeah. A lot of the places are ending.
December 31st.
Yep.
So
TikTok's ending too, December.
Yep.
Because TikTok's being bought out. So it's gonna get worse. It's not gonna get better.
Yeah.
Well, there's a concept in business where you've heard the term leaving money on the table.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's say a popular YouTuber who puts out videos all the time makes in 1 month. Let's say they make $10,000 in a month. Okay.
That would be nice.
YouTube comes along and says, I bet you that guy would have done that for $2,000. And they either slowly or quickly whittle it down to the point where the guy's only making $2,000 a month and not $10,000.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I know Mr. Beast makes an enormous. I think he makes like $1 million an episode.
Damn.
Okay. So somebody's going to eventually come along and say, well, he'd probably do that. He'd probably still do that for 100,000. Let's just give him 100,000 instead of the $1 million.
But a lot of them will leave because they're getting too used to that big money coming in, and when they don't get it, they're just going to go elsewhere.
Well, the thing is that will create a vacuum, and some other creator will step in and create some kind of website that does the same thing.
Yeah, but there's some websites out there, but they're not the size of YouTube.
Yeah, but one of them will become that size because everybody will be evacing YouTube because they're not making the money. So they'll go where they're given the offer that they would be able to do that.
Well, they're going to hope. Look at what's happening with Google right now. They're fighting in court because they're being sued because they're monopolizing all the industries by saying you have to have us as your main channel.
Yeah.
And the government's saying that's against the law. So they're going to get booted out. And guess what? This is why now I think Google's trying to buy TikTok, and I think they're trying to buy a couple of other platforms so they can sneak in the back doors that way. So it won't be Google, but it will be Google because they're just under a different name, and you're still going to be paying them, and they're not going to care. But they're going to be broken up as well. Same thing like what happened with the phone company.
Well, the biggest problem is, you talk about like censorship, okay? In 1996, when they supposedly invented the internet, they made it so that like Google or YouTube and Facebook and TikTok and all these platforms can't be sued because they're just, if you or I get on Facebook or YouTube and say something, that would normally get somebody sued, that would mean they'd have to sue me or you.
Yeah.
You know, Facebook and YouTube is exempt because they're just they're not a publisher, they're a platform.
Yeah, they're just a platform, and that's it.
Right. Well, for a platform, they sure do censor a lot. They sure do.
Oh
yeah. You know, take down videos and take down posts and all that. So they're trying
or they say that you can't be on here for a while or whatever, put you in what's called Facebook jail.
Yeah.
Yeah, my friend ends up there all the time.
Well,
she has 4 accounts because they all keep ending up in Facebook jail.
But by doing that, they essentially are doing. They're not doing what they're supposed to be doing in order to keep their protection. Yeah. They should, by rights, lose their protection from being sued, and they're not. That's the problem.
That's in the same realm as the churches aren't supposed to get involved with issues of the state. That's why they're tax exempt.
Right.
But they always get involved with issues of the state, but yet they're still not tax exempt.
Well, they're not taxed, yeah.
Yeah. You know, so I mean, it's all the games that they play, and it just keeps going on, and this is what I say. It's just so funny that when people don't look at the big picture, when they look at just with blinders on what's in front of them, that's what they see, and they get led around, and they just say, "Oh, okay, I'll go to, Etsy right now. Oh, okay, Etsy's no good. I'll go to Amazon, right? They'll go wherever they're being led, and they're gonna follow instead of saying, "What's all this? Why is this being changed? Why this? Why that?" But they don't, and that's the problem, because you get the ones that, like you says, they're doing $1 million. Yeah, okay, so YouTube's gonna say, "We'll give you 100,000 and you'll be happy with it." Of course, he's still going to be happy with it. Yeah, it's not $1 million, but he's going to say, "I'm making $1 million a month." Can you say that? No. So he's going to still be happy. It's the smaller people, as always, that gets hurt in these big deals. People like Fluffy, whoever, who just want to put out a channel just to talk about stuff, sell a couple of. We're the ones that get hurt.
Yeah.
Because we get pushed out, which is actually the core of the people that are keeping the industry alive, but we get thrown out. And then they say, "Well, you don't support us." Well, you wonder why.
Yeah.
You're stupid. This is like the same when I remember years ago, I was at a convention in New York. And this was when doing bootleg DVDs was the big thing. And I was standing there with one of the execs from Universal. I forget what his name is. And he was pissing and moaning. And I said, "What's the matter, so-and-so?" And he says, "Look at all these fucking people. They're selling all these movies. That's our property and this and that." I said, "Well, who's to blame for that?" He said, "What do you mean?" I said, "Who's to blame?" I said, "You guys are. You don't put it out. And when you do put it out, you put it out at like $75. We don't want to pay that. Put it out at a price we can afford, and we'll buy the damn thing.
Yeah.
Instead of this crappy quality, we'll buy the good one from you guys." But you guys don't do that.
Right.
And he's like, "Oh, well, And I'm like, "No, I don't know. All I know is you could have put out, like let's say Miami Vice, and you don't put it out. And then you're over there crying when Joe Blow over there is selling 400 copies of it at a show at $20 a whack and making a fortune. And you're going to say, I'm crying? You shouldn't be doing that? No, your mistake. You should put it out at a reasonable price. And guess what? You'll make a fortune. Not a big fortune, but you'll make money. But they're like, "Oh, no, we got to make $1 billion off of it or it's not worth it." It's like when they finally came out with Batman. Like, when Batman first came out in the box set, it was $99 to buy it. And that's like, why would I pay you $99 when I can go over to a bootleg guy and pay $20 for it and get it in decent quality, and at least I have it. But they don't look at it that way. They just say, how can we rape the public and get it? And then after, when it doesn't sell, they say, see, we should have never put it out. Nobody wanted it.
Yeah.
But it's their own fault. But like stuff like The Green Hornet, Time Tunnel, Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea, all those shows that were popular back in the 60s and all that people are looking for, you can't find them. And when you do find them, they're like $100 just to get one disc. And you're like, no, I'm not going to buy that. I'll go over and buy a bootleg copy for $20 and get the whole thing. But this is the same route that these places are going, like YouTube and all that. They're cutting off their nose to spite their face, and they're going to clean out all the dead wood in their talk, and they're going to say, well, what we got here is fine, and that's okay by us. We're still making money, so we don't care. But they're actually losing money in the long run, but they're not looking at it that way. And that's the problem that happens, and it keeps happening because they walk around with freaking blinders on.
Yeah.
And it just gets tiring, when I see all this, and I say, enough already. It just gets old seeing it. And you figure after a while people would learn, but they don't. They just keep doing it. And I just say, enough. This is ridiculous. I mean, like they said, everybody was complaining about cable because it was too high, right? So then it was like, well, you buy these platforms, buy Hulu separately, buy Disney separately. So you stop buying all those. Next thing you know, you're paying more than what you were paying for when you had cable.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, wait a minute. I thought it was supposed to be cheaper if I bought, Hulu and Amazon and Netflix. But now I'm paying, let's see, $40 for Amazon Prime and $30 for
Amazon Prime.
40.
It's like $15.
What?
It's like $15.
Yeah, but I know he's saying, pretty soon you're going to be buying, okay, one of our favorite shows we love is The Office. And we'll watch The Office maybe once a year. We'll go through and watch the whole series. Now, NBC is starting their own streaming network, the Peacock. So on December 31st will be the last time you can watch The Office on Netflix. So what you're going to be finding yourself doing is you're going to be finding all these streaming. And next thing you know, all that streaming channels you bought pretty much equals what you got with cable.
Well,
I have Netflix and Amazon Prime. I don't have cable because
all the stuff that's on those you're not going to be able to watch anymore because, like we said, NBC is going to have their own channel, ABC, CBS, and they're going to take all those. Like, look at Disney took all the Marvel stuff off of all the other channels. So if you want to watch any Marvel movie or TV show, you have to go and pay for them. And so next thing you know, where you're saying your cable bill was high, now you buy all those other things, you're paying way up here. But you're like, I'm getting a deal. No, you're not.
Well, that's why I limited myself to Amazon Prime because it's a dual thing. Amazon Prime, because of shipping, and I have to order a lot of stuff online. So I get the free shipping, plus I get my movies and stuff. So
yeah, but pretty soon there won't be a lot there on Amazon Prime that they have to offer because they can't because it's owned by the other ones.
And then I get Netflix, and that's it. Our cable bill, the cable bill that they had, I didn't watch it. I wasn't hooked up. I didn't have a cable box, so I didn't pay the bill. But their bill was like $230 just for cable. I was like, no.
And we all remember the day when all our TV was free.
I do.
Well, we got 4 or 5 channels.
Yeah, you had 4 channels: PBS, ABC, NBC, CBS.
But
and if you had rabbit ears and we're lucky, you got the UHF channels.
Yeah.
Well, we can still put up an antenna and get those 3 stations.
I don't know.
There's nothing on it.
I'll be honest.
Here's what
pumped out today. Whatever.
For a while there, we were treating our DVDs as if they were, wow, we're never going to need those again. We got Netflix and now I'm starting to look at them and think, well, why don't we just get rid of Netflix and all this other crap and we'll just keep the DVDs, See,
that's why I got mine. See, because I won't watch, let's say, Terminator 2. I've seen the movie enough times. I know the movie by heart. What I watch is all the behind the scenes stuff that they don't show on TV.
Yeah.
I'm much more interested in that stuff than the movie, because the movie they'll run it to death on TV for a month, and it's like I really need to see Terminator 2 every time I put on the TV. No, and that's what they do, and so I'm like, no, I'd rather watch these things and just say, yep, that's fine by me.
Yeah,
I hooked up. I got Hulu. But I'm only going to have it for the 1 month for free. And that's only because I'm watching the new Animaniacs. Once I'm all done watching that, and they're going to say, oh, you got to, I'm going to say, no, cancel it. I'm done. I watched what I wanted to watch. I'm good.
There you go.
And not to change the subject, but Big Dog put something in the chat about governors saying that you needed to wear masks inside your house. I haven't heard that. Is anybody else?
I've been seeing that for a lot of places now.
Well, I know they're saying it for like holiday gatherings, which makes sense if you have family coming you haven't seen in a while that you're not always in touch with. But I don't know.
We're a suburb of Akron, Ohio, and Akron, Ohio put in a health mandate that says if you can't even have more than 6 people over at your house.
Yeah.
And they want your neighbors to call in on you if you have more than 6 people over for the holiday.
Welcome, Big Brother.
Yeah, Big Brother. Yes, calling your.
But here's the funny thing. Let's say we lived in Akron and we had 10 people over and the neighbors called. There's nothing they can do.
Yeah.
Sure, they can come over, the cops knock on the door and write a ticket and do whatever they want. At some point, you stand in front of a judge and they have to explain why they have the right to stop me from having more than 6 people in the house and they can't do it.
What's
freedom.
Is the state of Ohio has a mandate, and then your county can give you a mandate on top of the state mandate, and then your community city can give you a mandate on top of your county, on top of your state.
In Ohio, what they're doing now in the House and the Senate is they're voting to overrule the governor and tell the governor, no, you cannot make these mandates. These have to be voted on through the House. You can't just make these arbitrary rules based on some unelected official's opinion. And
they did that here in April.
You what?
They did that here in April. The governor can only recommend.
Yeah. Well, what state are you in, Willa?
Emporia, Kansas.
Kansas, that's right, Kansas. Yeah, they're working on that.
Horrible. They've changed so much stuff here because of what he did to begin with, and now they're backtracking it all and everything. But,
I don't get out of my house, and I don't really pay attention to news because it's really depressing.
Right here, right now, we are way more than double of what we were at peak originally with COVID.
Yeah.
And they're doing nothing except reminding everybody of the mandate to wear a mask out in public. That's it. Schools stay in until they end their November term. It's pathetic.
Well, like they said, they can't enforce it, so you know what I mean. The most they can do is give it.
Because, like I've told other people, like what you're doing right now. What are you doing, Cody?
Smoking a cigarette.
You can't do that in public buildings anymore.
No, you can't.
To be able to, and they put a stop to it.
Yeah, made bars really crappy.
There's a sign that says no shirt, no shoes, no service.
Right.
So all they got to do is just say now, no mask, no service.
They do in a lot of places.
A lot of them don't enforce it like they should be doing. Sure. And that's the thing. Once they start enforcing it, then it becomes a law on the book, and everybody has to follow it, and it just becomes the norm.
Yeah.
Because
you
were able to smoke in designated areas, and then it was you couldn't smoke on school property at all. My crew used to have to go out across the street if they wanted to have a cigarette break. Because I was forced by my supervisor that if I caught them smoking in the building, I had to write them up. And then they would get in trouble with the boss downtown. Because that was the law. I said, it's not me, it's the law. And that's what it is.
Right.
And you got to follow it. It's like I say, when you come up to a red light, doesn't matter who we are. you all have to stop at the red light.
The difference is that became law. The smoking thing became a law. The mask things are like mandates and suggestions and recommendations.
Right now it is.
It's
Once
not
they start making it into a law, it's just going to take one state to make it, and then the others will follow.
Well, most of the states are the House and the Senate of most of these states. The ones I know of are kind of shying away from that and saying no, it's not law. The House and the Senate are getting kind of pissed off that the governor is doing things that they're not allowed to do.
Yeah. Overstepping their bounds.
Right.
Then when a million more people get sick, they're like, "Oh my God, maybe we should have worn the mask." It's
well, here's the mask isn't doing it. The masks are completely worthless. Completely worthless.
Well,
if the masks work, then why are the numbers going up?
Big Dog said a lot of the places have.
A lot of people are not using masks.
The numbers are going up in places where people are using masks. We had cases in our local school, and everybody wears a mask. Where the bus driver got it, the student got it, and the teacher got it, and they all wear masks all the time from the time they go to bed. They're all got a mask on.
Yeah, I can guarantee you that kids in school are not keeping their masks on all the time.
It doesn't matter. The problem is that an N95 mask will let the coronavirus pass through it like a mosquito flying through a tennis racket.
But it does help cut down your spray. I mean, it's not the it's not the cure-all, but it does supposed to cut down your spray.
Here's the funny thing. What makes me laugh so hard at this, and I don't mean laughing like it's funny, but viruses have been around for thousands upon thousands of years. But here in the last few months, we think we can legislate their spread and what they do, and you can't. Here's the thing. The virus is going to do what the virus is going to do, whether we've got masks on or not, whether we all stay locked in our houses or not. The problem is if we all stay locked in our houses, we interrupt the herd immunity that we get when we all go out among each other and become immune to these viruses.
Yeah.
Wasn't there a country that tried that herd immunity thing and it didn't work out so well?
What's that?
Hello?
I didn't hear anything.
Oh, I said, isn't there a country that tried to do the herd immunity thing and it didn't work out so well?
No, what happens with herd immunity is if you're going to get sick from the virus, you're going to get sick from the virus. If the virus is going to kill you, it's going to kill you. If you're going to be unaffected, you're going to be unaffected. But what happens at the very end of all that is the people who are not going to be affected by the virus are the ones that move on. The people who are going to die from it, die from it. Now we can delay that. We can interrupt that as much as we want to, but the virus isn't going anywhere. We can all sit in our houses with our masks on for 10 years. Then when we decide to go back out, it's going to be right there to take the lives that it was going to take anyway.
Yes, Jesse, but that's why they have a vaccine for chickenpox now.
Guess I should go ahead and say goodbye then, because I get it. I'm dead.
That's unfortunately the reality of it.
Well, that's why they're trying to come up with a vaccine, because, I mean, with all deadly diseases and things like that, they've tried to come up with something like polio and chickenpox and mumps, all of those that can kill people.
The thing is, they've got the vaccine. They just don't want to put it out yet.
Yeah.
Well, there was something. What was that? The polio vaccine? Well, there was a vaccine that we already had that was already cheap, already plentiful, that seemed to work. And because President Trump wanted to use it, nobody else wanted it. Oh, Orange Man bad. We can't use that. It's President Trump wants it. We can't let him win.
No, it was a vaccine for influenza or something. It wasn't for the COVID.
Hydroxychloroquine, I think, is what it was called.
Yeah.
It
was a vaccine for a similar type of thing, and
malaria. They use it.
It was malaria. Yeah, it was malaria.
Hydro.
Right.
But I don't believe for a second that anybody really like the hospitals. They don't want this to go away. If the hospitals wanted this to go away, they put what was it, brass knobs on their doors and brass railings. No, they don't have that. But you got to wear a mask if you want to go in there. Never mind the fact that all their surfaces are petri dishes for germs.
Yeah. My doctor wants me to go in for a wellness check for my insurance. I have had the same insurance for the past, I don't know, almost 20 years, and I have never had to do a wellness check. And I was half asleep when they called, so I made the appointment, but I am not going. My mom went in a couple of weeks ago and said his waiting room was packed with people. I am not going in there. I have congestive heart failure, which means I'm high risk. I am not going and sitting in that waiting room. So I'm going to be calling and going, look, you can do a wellness check over the phone. I'll do a video call with you, but
I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
You know. Now, see, my prosthetic doctor, my prosthetic place, they set your appointments up so they only have at most 2 people in their waiting room, and their waiting room is very large, so you can be at opposite sides. And I have watched his staff go in after each patient leaves. They go in there with Clorox wipes and clean down the entire room. They wash down the seats, the railings, the little handrails, everything. So they're very, very on, and they're all wearing gloves. They're all wearing masks, you know. And yeah, so they're very careful to limit as much as possible, you know.
Yeah. See, I have no problem wearing the mask. I understand it's supposed to help cut down your spray, but it's not 100%.
No, it's not.
And every time I come home, I'm washing my hands, and yeah, I'm cognizant of not wanting to go where it's not where it's not regulated. You know, you go to restaurants, it's regulated. You go to certain like churches, it's regulated. Stuff, you know, there's plans there to kind of help fight the deal.
Yeah.
I like to stay away from where I can't fight the deal, where they're not helping to fight the deal.
No, that's why when I go out, I carry my little thing of sanitizer.
Yeah.
And before I go in, I usually put some on, wipe my hands down, and then I go in, do whatever it is I need to do, whether it's Walmart or the Publix grocery store, whatever, you know, and then when I come back out, I do it all, you know, I wipe my hands down again.
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier, Jesse, that the virus is going to take its course and do what it's going to do.
Yeah.
You know, you can't make a law to regulate a virus. But
no.
You just gotta
try all they want, but it ain't gonna work.
You just gotta
they also have flu shots now. So I mean,
you're gonna see now that this is gonna become the norm. You got to get your flu shot and your COVID shot every year.
Yeah, I don't get flu shots. I've never gotten a flu. Well, maybe I did when I was a kid, but I don't get.
I've never gotten one either.
In 20 years, I've never gotten a flu shot. My wife and kid got a flu shot 5 years ago when we were still up north. What happened? They both got the flu.
Yeah, I very rarely ever get sick. Like that.
I know we have had a lot of people in the YouTube reseller community that have lost people to COVID. So whether they're fudging numbers or whether they're just assuming it's COVID or whether they were
okay, look at what Big Dog just said.
I know. But I mean, there's a guy in Canada. I don't know if you follow him, Curiosity Inc. Alex.
Yeah, Alex.
His father-in-law was perfectly healthy. He was up there in age, but he was perfectly healthy. He worked at Home Depot, and one day they just didn't hear from him. He did get tested for COVID, and it was negative. And a few days later, he was acting real weird, like basic COVID symptoms. And then one day they didn't hear from him, and Alex went over there, and he was dead. So
but I know that they're fudging the numbers because my sister-in-law is at a hospital in Texas, and all she says is, "We're just sitting around here." I said, "But they're showing on the news that Texas is like one of the blown up states." She says, "No."
They installed a bunch of new beds in the Cleveland Clinic up here, and they took them out for the presidential debates and never put them back in. So they're, you know, the hospitals up here are empty too. So.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that.
Hospitals here are full.
Everything's a big long line to get a test. Everything's a big long line to get into the hospital.
Yeah.
It's the fear that they put into you just to have you say, "Oh, I got to do what they say." No. Like we laugh because they were saying that here in Florida it was like up to 9 hours to get a COVID test. And my wife had to go get one because she had to have it. So that way her job knew that she was fine. I went right up the street. She had it done in 15 minutes. But yet you watch on the news, they show long lines in Florida to get COVID testing. I'm like, where the hell are these people? Because they're not around here.
Our COVID testing sites, you have to have an appointment in my town.
Nope,
Yeah, I
not
think
here.
you have to have one here.
Walk right up.
But
Yep.
But then again, that particular test isn't so.
well, some of these, like our governor got tested before he was supposed to go see the president. He got tested at 3:00 and he was positive, and they got tested at 5:00 and he was negative.
Yeah. Well, it's just like with pregnancy tests. You get false positive and false negative on those too.
That's
Yeah,
what
but they're not locking everybody in their house.
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe
Yep,
they
rabbit
should.
didn't die on
Maybe they should, Cody.
That's why we have a 10 o'clock curfew for the next 3 weeks.
So does Massachusetts. Massachusetts is under curfew too.
Yep.
And that's all because people are out late at night and drinking and they're losing their senses
Okay.
of.
Well, if you're drinking alcohol. And last I checked, viruses don't like alcohol.
So everybody's drunk.
That's what they tell you. They tell you that they're doing this 10 p.m. curfew because people.
They're doing the 10 p.m. curfew to make it look like they're doing something.
That's
Again, nobody knows what the hell's going on. So,
I'm in South Carolina. They just don't care here. Sorry. Thank you. That was like, I couldn't stop it. Yeah, South Carolina, they just don't care here. You know, I have not seen any changes here. Well, of course, I don't get out much, but even when I go out, there's not much. I mean, they do limit, like they were limiting the number of people that could go into Walmart. Then they stopped that. I don't know if they've started it again. I do know that the
They
people.
are doing it here, that they're limiting. They got them there at the doors now with the board and they're punching in the numbers of how many people are coming in. And
I mean,
they do that.
I do know they're limiting toilet paper again to how many people can buy. How many rolls you.
Walmart's out here, and
Yeah.
both of them were cleaned out.
Yep.
Right. Well, I know what I'm selling on my next auction.
Yeah, right.
we haven't bought toilet paper since like February or January.
When you got that big freezer box, you cleaned out that Kmart. That was right before it all hit.
Yeah, I
They
mean,
should start limiting things again because people are going to go out and they should not be doing that.
well, my daughter and her boyfriend stopped at Walmart a few nights ago, and there were only like 6 packages of toilet paper, and it was Walmart brand. There was only 6 packages left on the shelves. The rest of the shelves were completely bare.
Yeah, so they should start limiting again. They should.
And they didn't have
down here.
They didn't have a sign on the shelves, but when they got to the register, she's like, well, it's only supposed to be 1 package per person, but since there's 2 of you, we'll let it go through. And they were like, cool. It was actually both packages were for him. She went back the next day and got some for my mom's house, but yeah.
I went to Aldi's today and the shelves were full there.
Yeah. Well, a lot of places, like there were people that were telling me that their Family Dollars or their Dollar Generals were just packed with toilet paper. And I think that's because last time they sold out and they lost a lot of money because, so this time when they heard second wave or third wave, they went, oh, we're stocking up on that shit,
Exactly.
And it's not like toilet paper has an expiration date. So if they overorder, they're still going to sell it,
The one thing that was actually empty at Aldi's today was they had 1 package of bagels, and it was the everything these and bagels. 1 package. That was
Everybody needs their bagels. What's your son going to do without his cinnamon bagels?
He's just going to be SOL for a couple days. And they had 3 or 4 flats of bread in the rack. Everything else was like empty. And they had the other fancy funny tasting bread, expensive stuff. Yeah, the stuff we won't eat type of bread.
Like sourdough and potato bread.
Yeah.
I love potato bread.
And I like sourdough, but nobody else does.
I do.
But,
you can have
yeah,
I like
the bread thing was the only thing that was empty. The rest of all these was packed full of stuff.
Yeah.
And they were stocking the wine while we were there. So they're not going to get out of wine.
Well, my shelves are bare, so apparently I resemble Aldi's, bread aisle.
And they took the limit off the canned goods. You can get more than four of one kind now.
Lemon, did you say?
They took the limit.
Oh, limit. Okay.
Yeah, up until the last time I went, you could only get 4 cans of corn or 4 cans of green beans, 4 cans of carrots or whatever, just 4 cans of each variety.
Yeah.
Now they don't have the limit to. You can get as many as you want.
Hi, Christy.
Hey, Christy.
Hey, Christy.
Hey, Chrissy.
Hey, Christy.
I said hi first.
You get the
It all sucks right now, no matter what.
Yay. Sorry, I would take that right now. I'm broke.
The only one.
Yeah, it's just going to be crazy again until January when they go back to, okay, now we're going to do this now because the new diet.
And we're back to politics.
No, I'm just saying that's what's bringing all this on. It's all politics.
I know. I think all the politicians need to be kicked out. We need to start over with no parties.
Somebody told me that right after Thanksgiving, the truck drivers union is going on strike.
I heard that somewhere too. Yeah.
I've heard about the truckers were doing up to something too.
Yep. Right after Thanksgiving, they're all going on strike, so nothing's going to move in this country.
Yeah.
That is scary.
Because they're tired, they're being pushed to their limit, and they're not getting anything for it.
Yeah.
And they're like, nope,
And they know the entire country depends on them to deliver goods. So, yeah. I mean, it was hard when UPS went on strike way back in the day. In the early 90s, UPS went on strike right after Thanksgiving. Oh my God, I worked at a catalog company when they did that. Everybody was panicking because people were calling and going, is my order going to make it for Christmas? Blah, blah. And they stuck me on customer service. I'm like, I hate you people. I'm like, what, are you kidding me? So what I ended up doing is we also had FedEx, but it was a few dollars more. And I just started giving everybody free day basic FedEx. I gave them free shipping just to shut them up because they were harassing us so badly. And I didn't realize that people don't just call your supervisor to complain. They also call to give compliments. And there were like 1,000 people that called and complimented them on my quick thinking and my wonderful customer service. And I got called into the supervisor's office. I thought I was going to get fired. They gave me a raise and they worked out a deal with FedEx so that because FedEx was getting all the business, they were happy. So they gave our company a discount on shipping for that basic, their regular flat rate shipping. They gave them a discount and I got a raise and I was panicking my ass off. I was like, oh, I'm going to get fired. But yeah, so I guess I did.
When that happened, FedEx kind of freaked out.
Yeah.
I have noticed, though, did you guys get the email from Pirate Ship that they're raising their rates again?
No.
No,
I haven't shipped anything yet.
For the holiday season.
Yeah. No,
I haven't shipped anything yet.
Their rates again.
Oh, Willow, guess what? To completely detract from everything we're talking about, my son had to make some powdered Gatorade mix, right? Because we're out of things to drink. And he brings me this cup. And I didn't look at it for like hours. And I finally looked at it because I noticed it had like writing on it. It's got the Harry Potter castle and it says the Marauders map on it. I was like, my son brought me a Harry Potter cup. That's so awesome. Okay, I'm done now.
Sometimes they do get it right, Cody, don't they?
Yeah. Sometimes. He was in a good mood today, so. I don't love the Gatorade, but it's fluid because I dehydrate really easily, so I needed liquid. We have nothing to drink in the house except powdered Gatorade.
And do any of you guys know NASCAR Man?
Yes.
And you heard what happened with him, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I didn't hear what.
I watched his video.
Getting out of doing auctions and everything because of his health problems.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
He's selling off everything because his kids aren't interested in any of it. And he's just getting rid of all of it because he can't. I was there in the chat with him, and a couple of times he forgot my name.
Yep.
And other people that were in the chat didn't even remember who they were.
I watched the video later on. Yeah, he wants to concentrate on spending time with family, and like he said, his kids aren't interested in it, so he wouldn't have anybody to leave all that stuff to. He's been having mini strokes, and they're affecting him pretty bad. So yeah. I mean, I hope he still, pops into YouTube in the chats and stuff. I hope he doesn't go away completely.
Well, he said he might pop in every once in a while, but on the whole, he's walking away from it all.
No, that's sad. I feel that.
I spoke with him after, and he says his biggest thing is he's afraid that it's going to get to the point where he can't remember anything. Yeah. And he wants to, at least that he says that if it comes back to him, he wants to remember that he spent time with his family.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Not that he was over here trying to, make a buck.
Right.
So.
And that's understandable.
Right. You got to do what's good for you. You don't worry about anybody else.
Right.
You worry about you first.
You kick it. She got to go because her granddad's going to walk about.
Yeah.
Walk back quick.
Okay.
Hey, Kate.
Toodles.
Hi, Kate.
And then, like I said, I just thought it was funny because I told him, I said, yeah, I'm going to be getting out soon myself. And I'm like, yeah. I says, because there's no point. And, I mean, I'm not going to be like some of these other people that, not for naught. I mean, I have to face it. I'm 60 right now.
Yeah.
I may still have another 30 more years. I don't want to be lugging all this stuff around.
Right.
I already know that I only got 7, maybe 8 more years left of doing the conventions if they come back.
Right.
And then that's it. And because I don't want to be lugging all this stuff from show to show. So it's going to come down to the point where I'm just going to get rid of it all.
Well, and, you know where to send all the Lady Death stuff.
Right to the auctioneer. And he's going to bang his little
I wonder
gavel.
why he's still got a T-shirt hanging on his window.
Well, you know what? I tried, okay? You can't blame a bear for trying.
But, but I know that, and like I said, it's coming to the point because I've been doing a few auctions and I did, 5 auctions in 1 week. And I was finding that if I put out, like I said, if I put out something like this and I say, nobody's touching it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I'm not going to give it away for $5 because it didn't cost me $5. I'm not going to take a loss just to make, somebody else happy. It's not worth it.
Right.
So I'd rather wait and just say, no, if the shows come back next year, I can, like it says, I can buy 2 tables, set up, and put everything out at cost, and I could still make my money, a lot better than, unfortunately here.
Yeah.
Plus I don't have the shipping costs and all that, and, it's a, you got to weigh your options, and it stinks in a way, but it's like, and am I going to go keep, doing like what a lot of people do? They run around to all these, estate sales and everything to go buy them out for what? To say, okay, I got this bunch of linen. I'm like, no, I'm past that point now. It's like I told Paul Antonelli, I says, I'd rather use my money to buy more Godzilla toys. If I'm going to buy something, it's going to be something for me. Stuff like this, like this. This is something I had in a tote. So it's like, okay, I have this in a tote. I'll sell it. But to say I'm going to go out of my way to go get one, it's like, no, I got to stop doing that because if not, I'm never going to get rid of all this stuff.
And then the boss will be mad.
Oh, yes. Then the boss will be really mad.
Sure, because it's never really successful.
And it stinks because I like, interacting with you guys and everything. But like I said, it's got to come to a point when you got to say you're taking too much of a loss on what you have.
I take a loss on every item.
Yeah. Jerry, you do know you can come in and chat with us and still interact with us, right?
I don't know about that part. But, it's like this. you know, like I got this, but we picked this up at a yard sale. And it didn't have all the cars in there, but we had a bunch of loose cars. So we just filled it in, and I'm like, okay. But I'm like, if I can get rid of it for a decent, you know, and like I said, I was like, $50, you know, and you know, well, there's 48 cars. That's basically, you know, $2 for the case and $50, you know, 48, you know, cars for $1 each. And nobody touches it. And you're like, I'm not going to say give me $30 for it because I'm taking too big of a loss. Because I've seen the case, you know, alone goes for like $25. You know, so it's like, why am I going to take a loss? So, I mean, it's a sad thing to say, but, you know, once again, it's, you got to look out for yourself and say, I got to do what's best for me, and that's it. Pew pews and ammo. Okay. but yeah, but I figure I've got like at least, you know, another month, and then that's it. And did you see that Cajun and Cleopatra stopped all their auctions?
No. I didn't see
they sent me an email, said all their auctions are now canceled.
Why?
They said right now they're saying that they're going to try to, if they can come up with a better way of doing the auctions, they're going to do it. If not, they're done.
Wow.
What was wrong with the way they were doing the auction?
I think the problem is that, you know, because remember it happened with us that somebody said that they put in the bid, but nobody ever saw it, you know, because they're not getting posted or anything, you know, so when you start getting that, it starts fights. And I'm like, you're fighting over a $10 toy, really?
Yeah.
You know, it's not worth the aggravation and everything. And it's not worth the hassle to say, all right, let me change this. And, you know, so, but they sent out an email to, I guess, all the people that are supposed to be their guests in the next, like 5 weeks. And they said, nope, they've canceled them all.
Wow.
I was thinking about doing the same, but, you know,
You can't do anything about people not seeing a bid. If sometimes YouTube doesn't let you post. We've had people that have been like, I've said hi 5 times. Am I invisible? And it literally has not shown up in the chat anywhere.
Yeah.
You know,
exactly. But some people take offense to it.
Well, some people need to get over being so easily butthurt.
Yeah, but you know what? But some of these people, then it starts a fight in the chat, and it's like, I didn't come here to fight. I came here to chat. You know, I'm not going to fight because you said you put in $7 and nobody saw it. That's not my fault. You know, why are you blaming me? But this is what they're doing. And I think that's what
you know what I get a kick out of? You know what I get a kick out of is when there's an auction, right? And the item goes up for like, say, $5. Someone puts in $5, someone puts in like $7, someone puts in $9, and the person with $7 goes, wait, I put in $7, you didn't call my bid. It's like, yeah, because they came in so fast and 9 is the highest. Why am I going to put them all in? The only one that the person selling the item is interested in is the highest bid.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. They're already complaining about something that's inconsequential, but they're making a big deal out of it. It's like, we didn't call your bid because somebody came in higher. So we're going to get the highest bid.
But see, people know better than to start problems in Fluffy's chat because I'll boot them.
Yeah, but that's, you know, a lot of these people, they're getting tired of doing that. They're getting tired of booting people out.
I will never get tired of booting people.
No, you won't, but a lot of them do. It's like remember Fluffy when we were in Derek's auction that time, remember? And Derek came in and says, look, this is an auction, not a place to complain. If you're going to complain, I'm going to shut the whole thing down, you know, and it gets frustrating and you don't want to deal with it.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I mean, I was in an auction and there was a person in there saying bad things. And I put in the private chat, I said, who is this person talking about? Because I didn't know if they were talking about me or one of the other people. And I'm like, then why doesn't the moderator, you know, the person that's running it, either tell that person to shut up or boot them out, one or the other.
It was probably someone that everybody likes and that spends a lot of money. And those people end up getting a lot more leeway than they should.
But this is what I'm saying. See, then that starts the dissension amongst the people. They'll say, oh, why are you letting them do it? And I was doing it and I got in trouble, but they didn't. And then, like I said, it's a fight. And this is what I'm saying. So many people are just stopping it because they're just tired of it. It gets aggravating after a while.
Yep.
Well, a lot of people started doing the auctions when their job shut down or whatever, their resource, so they started doing auctions on YouTube, and now jobs are coming back, but the ones that haven't went back to work and stuff that are still in their little COVID fishbowl are kind of going nutso.
Yeah. But also like what Big Dog said, people don't have the money, and that's like I've said that before. Says, are they going to either buy food and pay their rent or buy a toy? Well, I'd rather have them buy a toy so I can buy food and pay my rent. But they're going to say, no, I got to pay my rent and buy food. So it's a catch-22. You're stuck right in that middle and you want them to buy it, but I can understand when they don't buy it.
Definitely.
Well, I don't really have a choice at this point. Whatever free money I have to, whether it's donated or whether I'm able to save it on my money, I have to spend it on food because I'm living in a house.
You see something like this and you say, oh, I would love to have that.
I would.
But you say, no, I got to buy food. I want to sell it to you, but
I know
I can't because it's like
stop throwing it in my face.
Well, an example.
I would absolutely love to buy all of the Lady Death stuff and anything Chaos Comic that you have. But I know that I have to, whenever money comes in, whether it's donations or whether it's from my own money, that I'm able to, save at the beginning of the month, it all has to go towards something like pet food or food or whatever. I just can't, I can't justify buying goodies. You know what I mean?
Think about this. As of now, Squashy is no longer on benefit. She's been deemed fit for work. So that income we had is gone.
Yeah.
So that's why I haven't been. That's why I haven't been bidding on any auctions or doing anything that way.
Yeah.
And it is hard, and it's making me think. Well, what's the point? Because I'm not even making money on anything I sell. You typically, like example, Michael Kors watch, I paid $20 for. I couldn't sell that the other day for $25. It's.
But it's like I said, it's because people are, they're like, which do I do? And you feel bad, and but they're like, I want you to buy my stuff, but I understand the boat that you're in.
Wait, Bluegrass, that's because YouTube will not allow the number 88 to be, well, you just did it, but 88 is considered a racial thing. It has something to do with it.
Because you put a dot after it.
Yeah, you have to do 8.8 or type it out because it's considered some part of the Aryan culture or something. I don't know. But yeah, that's why YouTube won't allow that number normally. I don't know why you were just told. Maybe because there's a decimal point after it.
Yeah, that's fine.
Normally, you can't type that number out.
You can't unless you put a dot or a comma after it.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you can't do. But that's, we were talking about that a half hour ago about them censoring out certain things. And
I got nailed by the Google moderator team the other day, and all I said was,
what?
I said, "Oh, poor baby," and the Google moderator team took out my comment. I'm like,
it didn't matter what you said. When I was moderating Jeremy's chat last Sunday, people were typing in perfectly innocent things, and the Google mods were doing it. Mods were typing things in.
No, Jesse, it didn't show.
No, it didn't, Jesse. Clunky, but think about it. Of all of the things that I say, that's what they moderated.
Yeah, that is funny.
It's got to be a bot thing.
Yeah, it's not a real. When they were doing that in Jeremy's chat, what I typed in was, "Google's losing money that will be completely broke in 15 days," and it went through. I mean, nobody moderated that, so I know it was a bot because if anybody's watching that.
Yeah, they are. That is a bot system. Who was talking about that?
Well, Jesse, you might see it, but we do not.
Yeah, no, it's not showing up anywhere, Jess.
Yeah, Jesse, you'll see it on your screen, but not on ours.
No, wait a minute. What if it's typed in?
I mean, there are ways around it. You type 8.8 or 88.
That's what I typed.
0.88, and yeah, it'll.
I just typed the word 88.
Yeah.
That's how I used to get round winning on storage judges. 88.
Well, you know, in jewelry auctions, a big thing with like great big rings or something like that is you call them a honker.
Yeah.
They were blocking
Yeah,
that.
you put it in private chat.
Yeah, you can type it.
What about? I can't type in the regular chat on there. What if it? No, I'm not in. Okay.
Yeah, Jess,
Jesse, you can do it that way.
got a space in between it.
Yeah, because there's a space, it works.
Yeah, that would work, Jesse.
It just can't be those two numbers right next to each other. And it has something to do racist Aryan crap. I don't know.
Jesse, try 088 and see if that works.
Well, yeah, I would think it would.
Or $88, I guess. I don't know.
I did the 088.
I don't see it.
No.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, because I typed in just before my dot, right underneath where Jesse says, did that one work? I just typed in 88. And I see it on my screen, but I don't see it in the chat.
Yeah, it's not showing up in chat.
Nope.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You can
Jesse,
say whatever you want, Jess. You just can't do that.
I typed the 88 then. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure there are a few other racist things that you would not want to chat. I mean, I would assume that you wouldn't want to put it in the chat, but I would assume some of those would be censored too. But
Well, here's the funny thing, okay? None of us here, before we experienced not being able to type in 88 in the chat, knew that that was a racist thing.
Yeah.
Okay? Now we all know.
I did.
So what's okay? Cody knew. I don't know how you knew, Cody, but
I live in the South.
okay. Well,
Well,
Jesse.
I mean, if you just want it, if the best way I can break it down is they keep it alive. Like you just said, we didn't know about it until all of a sudden we said, well, why can't we type it in? They say, well, that's the racist thing. We're like, well, how is that racist? And then they tell us, oh, okay. So now we start spreading it around to everybody. So now everybody knows. That's like what gets me when it's okay for a black person to use the N-word with each other. That's fine.
No,
but
no big dog.
If a white person says it, it's considered racist.
You know, I'm actually really surprised that they haven't gone after that Black Friday. I really am.
Yeah.
No big dog. It's I think wrong one.
Yeah, it's supposed to be boobs.
I've noticed that a lot of places have started Black Friday the 1st of November.
Michael Kors.
Maybe they're afraid to get cut come Turkey Day.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even Black Friday is out of control. Now they're starting Black Friday a month ahead of time. People are having Black Friday sales. It's like, what do you not understand about the word Friday?
or black. Yeah. Well, Black Friday, we all know that means that's the day that they make their first profit for the year.
Yeah, but they're doing it a month in advance now.
Well, hopefully they'll make their profits a month in advance. Who knows? You know.
No, well, there's still. I mean, the thing is
this year.
Yeah, I don't know how well Black Friday in person is going to go. I mean, with restrictions and all that, you know.
Oh no! All the ghetto people will go because they're going to say, well, everybody's not going to go because of the COVID thing, so there won't be that many people there, so we can get right in, and they're going to run to it.
I know that it was ironic that Black Friday, you know, starts the season, the shopping season of love, peace, and joy, and you have people killing each other, to save $500 on $1,000 TV.
Yeah.
I worked Black Friday when I worked for loss prevention for Walmart, and let me tell you, there was no love, peace, or joy in that store the whole day.
Same thing when I worked at Toys R Us.
It was absolutely disheartening, and I'm like, it's not even my holiday, and I'm hurting here. I'm like, what the hell are you people doing? You know, beating each other up over a $99 TV that you're just going to bring back the day after Christmas because it sucks and it doesn't work. And they did. We had to set up a special table just to have those TVs returned.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. But the hatred that I saw going on that day was absolutely, I mean.
Yeah. It's season of love, peace, and joy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love thy neighbor. Get the hell out of my way. I want that TV.
I had to break up fights between old people.
Yeah. I worked at Walmart back in high school.
Kill you with their canes and run you over with wheelchairs and shit. I was like, what the hell is wrong with you people?
Yeah.
Like your scooters.
Yeah.
A lawnmower without a blade.
They're crazy. But now I have my own wheelchair. I can run them over bad.
Demolition derby with the wheelchairs, huh?
Ding, 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 ding.
That would be my mom when she drove one.
Mine too.
I got a wheelchair and a fake leg. I am armed, legged, and dangerous.
There you go.
And trust me, I put her in the yard on a riding mower with the blade up.
Because they're the ones that splashed me when I was younger.
No, I tried to teach my mom how to drive the riding mower with the blade up. Huge yard, nothing to run into. Ran into it anyways. So when she got into a scooter and had to, tight turn around another cart down an aisle, or oh god, the 3-point turn, she wouldn't bother. She just and take out the power tag sticking out on the line about 8 feet. Yeah.
Why wouldn't we be able
on a scooter? But I was always in an aisle over.
Okay, aside from the conversation, why wouldn't we be allowed to talk about Native American jewelry? I don't get it.
He said, "Don't talk about Indians," and I said, "What? No Native American jewelry?"
I didn't hear that. Sorry.
Claire throws his a joke towards the naming of our local baseball team, the Cleveland Indians.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, geez, Jesse.
Yeah, it's so out of control. Racism is
I hate to tell you this, buddy, but I have 2 forms of Native American in my bloodline. So if I want to talk Native American jewelry or any Native American anything, buddy, I'm going to do it.
I'm adopted. I claim it all. It's all mine. I can talk about whatever the fuck I want.
I couldn't eat the whole one.
Well, technically, I'm quarter Indian, so
Yeah,
I have no idea. I've never had it tested.
Well, all I've got to say on that one is Buckeyes rule. There you go.
I mean, I've been tested, but not for that.
I'm 100% European Caucasian.
My mama had me tested. I'm not crazy.
Hey, I'm English, Irish, Dutch, Dane, Cherokee, and Apache.
I'm 100% bitch bear.
I'm actually half Greek and half English.
I'm about, I'd say about 80% Irish and 20% German.
Talons.
There's some Welsh in there too, I think.
Yeah, one of the things about the Indians, we have a local company that makes butter, and I don't know how far out they ship it. If you guys have ever heard of this company, it's Land O'Lakes Butter.
Yeah.
In the O was an Indian.
Yeah.
And my buddy's great grandfather painted that Indian for that company.
Oh wow!
Cool.
It's been on their butter jars in the middle of the O for years, and now it's just O with no Indian in it.
Oh, I agree, Jesse. Everybody's turning into just gray babies. Everybody's just a gray baby.
See, I don't know. You can be proud of what your race of people has accomplished. You can be proud of being a part of that race, but you didn't really have a choice, so it's not really an accomplishment. And for me, I'm only proud of things that I accomplish.
So
you know what I mean?
Anything?
What?
You're not proud of anything?
Funny, haha.
Well, I think the point is, I don't think it was the Indians that really minded Chief Wahoo. I think it was some other group or some butthurt little corner of society that's offensive to somebody else.
they got offended for them.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But we have professional victims now.
Yeah. Yeah, they're all named Karen.
That's my mother's name.
I feel sorry for anybody actually named Karen that has to.
My poor mom.
Put up with that.
Sorry. I would say they're all named Frances because that's my mother's name.
Oh.
And she was being a victim.
Oh, my poor mother.
Which is why my.
Oh, you froze up, Cody.
Well, I'm proud I'm half twat.
No, like I said, I'm just Portuguese and Polish. And when people say, what? And I say, yeah, one side's an idiot and the other side's too stupid to realize it.
I know we've got German, Dutch.
Now, there's a bad joke right there that I could say.
What's that? German and Dutch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Germans just had Dutch ovens, huh? Okay.
Yeah. And then
Too soon,
South
Jerry.
Cherokee Indian. So.
Oh, we lost Cody.
Yeah, she'll be back. Should be better.
It wasn't attention grab, Gonky. Nothing more, nothing less. Attention grab.
Does that mean my walls are racist?
Extra black.
Yep. What?
That's wrong. Well, that's wrong.
See, me, I don't worry. I just tell them all I hate every one of yous equally.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah. Some, a few others, a few more than others.
Nope. I keep them all equal. That way they can't say I'm picking and choosing.
Gotcha.
When I used to work for the school department and I used to have the different schools and I would get the different crews and they would say, oh, you hate me. I say, I hate all of you equally. Don't worry.
My dad used to say.
Makes sense.
Be right back, guys.
I say, I don't pick out any favorites or anything. I just hate you all. Go away. I say, I gave you a job to do. Go do it. I don't expect to see you till it's your break time. Get out. And that's it.
Right, Cody.
Hello,
you.
Cody.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
I'll take Cody in the top center, please.
For the blog.
How did I be Paul Lynn?
My Chrome just went crazy. I had the chat popped out and it said you don't have enough memory for this
Well,
tab to be open. I'm going, what the hell? I don't know.
Making me dizzy. Oof.
Back to normal.
No, the last time I had was when I was dating a black woman, and it was Easter Sunday. I'm sitting in their living room by myself because the rest of the family was all going into the kitchen, and all I kept hearing was, "Hey, Ann, what's up? Hey, what's up, my?" And about 20 minutes later, she comes walking in and says, "Are you okay?" I said, "I just want to know one thing." She says, "What?" I said, "When can I go in there and say that?" She says, "Don't you dare." I said, "You the racist? Not me. They should know I don't mean it bad. I'm part of the family, aren't I?" You guys are the ones keeping that alive, not me.
Now, see, my son can say that, but only to his friend that's black.
Yeah, but see, a lot of them.
Jesse, have you opened it yet?
But yeah, a lot of them get very upset if people that are not black use the word.
Using it, stop calling each other that, and guess what? It'll disappear. And I had a few black friends of mine say, "Oh, it won't disappear." I said, "Well, tell me this. Have you heard any white people go around say, 'Hey, my redneck friend. Hey, my cracker buddy'?" And he's like, starts laughing. "No, but that's different." I said, "No, same thing. We don't go around calling each other that, so we don't keep the word alive. You should stop doing it too."
Jesse, have you opened that safe yet?
Stop using it.
Crack it open, live.
Well, they say there's a difference because they use it with an A on the end instead of the ER, but for me, it's still the same damn word.
No,
See?
no.
It's the same thing. I can say the same thing. I can say, "Hey, you know," and they're going to say, "Oh, look, Terry's racist." I'm going to be like, "No." Because that happened to me when I was at work one of the guys that was under me, he's black. He went to my boss saying that I was racist and everything. And my boss was just laughing at him. And because he called me up and told me, he says, yeah, he was just here. And I told him, and I'm laughing. And he was like, why are you laughing? I'm being serious. He says, I know you are, but I can't understand why you're being serious. He says, because he's racist. He says, how can he be racist? He's dating a black woman. So I don't think he hates him. He just hates you. And I told him when he came, I said, yeah, I just hate you. Because you don't want to do your job. Go away from me. That's all it is. Has nothing to do with, I've said it for years. I don't care if you're black, white, green with stripes. This is your job. Go do it.
Yep. I had a woman pull the race card on me when I stopped her because her daughter was shoplifting. And I stopped her and she's like, you just stopped me because I'm black. I'm like, no, I stopped you because your daughter's a damn thief. And she tried to pull the race card with the store manager, who is not my boss. And he was like, look, she doesn't care if you're blue with purple polka dots. He's like, if your daughter was stealing, she was stealing. So
like
never heard anything else about it. But
I ain't racist. I got a black cat.
Uh-huh.
That's right.
John used to say he wasn't racist. He had a correct TV.
Now, when you get a black dog, you're going to go up to the next one. Then when you get a black monkey, you're up to the next one. A black bird. So you got to go through all the animals first. Then you can find the rest of us.
I don't like the word, the N-word. I don't like the use of it, and the roommate uses it all the time. My son will use it when he's gaming, but he doesn't use it in a negative way, but he still uses it, and I don't like it. But y'all have heard my son. There's no controlling his mouth, so...
But it's like I said, though, if they stop using it, the word would disappear.
Yep, I agree.
But they don't want to. They want to keep it alive because they know that that's their little crutch. That if they ever have to pull it out, they can pull it out. And that's the problem that's going on. Everybody now is looking for their crutch. And that's, and that's what's going on.
I told you guys that my son almost got me killed at one of our grocery stores when he was little, right?
No, I missed it. Wait a minute. Hold on. Okay, I'm relaxed now. Tell me the story.
Okay, the story is, I was at the grocery store, and it's in a poorer part of town, right? So most of the customers in there are Mexican, or they're black, or really poor white people. And we were in there, and the clientele at the time was almost all black. My son, while we're standing in line, goes, Mommy, I don't like black people. I was like, oh, crap, I'm going to get shot. Right? And I'm like trying to keep calm and not panic. And I'm like, why don't you like black people, honey? And he's like 7 years old. So I was hoping they wouldn't him too. And he goes, because they're mean to me and Kayla at school. And I was like, and everybody was like, what? Until they heard that. And then they were like, wait. And I was like, okay, so far no gunshots. I was like, what do you mean they're mean to you? He goes, they make fun of us because we're white. And every single black person turned around and looked the other way. And I'm like, okay, not getting shot today. It's a good day. And I told him, I was like, you can't not like an entire race of people because of the behavior of a few. No matter who the people are, no matter what the race is, you cannot dislike an entire race because of what a few people do. And he went, okay, I'll wait and see how the rest of them are then. And I'm like, oh my God. Yeah. So, yeah, my kid almost got me killed when he was little.
Kids say the darndest things.
Now y'all can wake up. Story time's over.
What? What?
Shortest Cody story ever.
No, it's not.
But like I say, though, in a sense, that's the ignorance in the world that's going on. That's like when we were up north at the time, and my little guy, he must have been about maybe a year and a half old. We were in the store, grocery store, we're getting stuff. The woman came out from behind the meat counter, from the deli counter, went up to my wife and says, I just want to say you talk the best English I've ever heard for an Asian woman. And your son speaks good English too. And she looked at her, looked at me, looked back at the woman and says, well, I hope so since he was born here. And I'm like, there's the freaking ignorance that's in the world. to come out and just say something that stupid. And it's like, are you kidding me? And then she looked back at me. She says, "We're never shopping here again."
You know what? You know what term I really, really don't like?
Lady Death sucks.
Yeah, that too. But that'll get people punched in the throat. No. The term that I do not like being used is reverse racism. There's no such thing. Racism is racism. Doesn't matter what race it is, it's racist if you're against an entire race. So there is no reverse race. That would mean you're not racist.
Well, here's
But
something. Tony.
people use it all the time. It drives me crazy.
Back in the 90s, I used to sell electrical fittings and cable ties and nuts and bolts and hardware, stuff that like a shop would use, or, you know, if you're familiar with that kind of product. But I went to the Cleveland Regional Transit Authority, the RTA in Cleveland, and I wanted to sell them some electrical fittings and some cable ties because they all use it to work on the trains and the buses and all that. And the guy looked, this was in 1995. I was working for Ronnie.
Yeah.
1995. And the guy looks at me square in the eye and he says, "I can't buy from you. You're the wrong color." He said, "If you were black, I could buy." He said, I would buy you out if you were black, but you're white, so I'm not allowed to buy from you.
Wow.
And that's because, well, everybody knows that the biggest employer in the free world is the U.S. government, correct? The U.S. government.
Ooh, that's nice.
Oh, nice.
Well, no, the U.S. government and the Catholic Church are the biggest corporations.
When I say I meant, what I really meant to say was the government between the U.S. government, the federal and state, all the county governments and the city and all that. It's the biggest employer.
Yeah.
And they're all, how should I put this? When I was there at the RTA, what he told me was that they have to spend a certain amount of their budget with Black-owned businesses, Black minority-owned businesses. He said, unless I was willing to sell him a locomotive engine, he couldn't buy from me, because that's the only thing that they can't buy from Black-owned businesses. A certain percentage of their money had to be spent on Black-owned businesses. You've got to buy a locomotive. Everything else you buy has to be from Black people.
Yeah.
So there's that. I'm actually a, you know what I do for a living is I work on fitness equipment. So I work on fitness equipment for the federal government, along with county government, state government, city governments. At the federal, the only reason I can work on the federal level is because there are no Black people in this area that do what I do. If there was anybody in this area that were Black or a woman-owned business, I wouldn't be in there. They wouldn't call me. They would call them. I mean, it doesn't bother me, I guess, but you know, when I hear white privilege, the word white privilege being thrown around, it's like, wait a minute. I've been in more than one situation where I've had people tell me, "Go away, you're white. If you were Black, I could buy from you. If you were Black, I could do business with you.
Babe,
you're white, so go away."
I'm gonna go to bed. I've just took my painkillers because I want to shoot my pain down my back.
Mm-hmm. Feel better, Squashy.
Get
some rest.
Good night, Squashy. Love you, hon.
And Jesse is right. Jesse is right, Flippy. The Amish religion doesn't allow for recording.
Love you, babe.
Me too.
Night, Squashy. They don't like any technology. Any tech.
Night, Joey.
There are a few that might allow it if they're at a public auction, but they would rather you not record them.
I didn't know that. I've never seen it.
They don't work with electronics.
Nope.
They're all still back in.
That'll be why they just wanted the tools then.
Yep. But they have the most fantastic and most best made furniture you will ever find.
Oh yeah.
Oh, like the old style stuff.
Yep. And their quilts are amazing.
they might not use technology in their day-to-day living on their land, but off their land, they have no problem with it.
Oh, they'll ride around in your car. They call it what is it? A Yoder toter?
Toter, yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, they'll. There are people who make really good money. If you got a minivan or a van or something,
See you, big dog.
make really good money toting them around.
Night, big dog.
I think he's saying goodnight to Squashy.
Yeah.
Because he said goodnight and God bless Squashy, so I think he was saying goodnight to Squashy.
Did anybody see my cat football in there?
Yeah.
No.
We see Diego.
Yeah.
Hey, Diego.
Sorry about that, big dog.
Yeah, it's a crazy world. You know?
And it just got crazier
With
because
the
my wife
construction.
is with our Japanese connection, and she's buying me a whole bunch of new Godzilla shirts.
Nice.
Cool.
No, that means I got to make room for more shirts.
Yeah, well,
Well-
stop hanging mine on the window there.
You can send me all the Lady Death stuff, then you'll have room for your shirts.
Oh, you mean like this shirt?
You can send that to me, and then you'll have room for yours.
Still in the bag.
Jerry,
Oh,
Jerry.
still in the bag.
Jerry's trying to torture you, Cody.
He does this.
Tortures me every day. Hangs that bloody shirt up.
He does this every time.
Keep going. Keep going. Still in the bag.
He enjoys
Just so you
torturing me.
know, Cody, I was already offered $100 just for those two shirts, for the two Lady Death ones.
People suck.
Those vacuum cleaners and Gravity, but we need them both.
I know.
Mhm.
I'm trying, Noreen. You can see how hard I'm trying, right?
Mhm.
I offered to help clear up some space for you, you know.
So did I. He needs a curtain instead of a t-shirt.
Nobody's talking to you, Fluffy. Shush.
No, I
I
like
didn't say a
that.
word. Who knows what I like?
I can go like this. I can
Yeah.
take this and go like.
Did it right,
Look at his
Fluffy, on it
face.
before it fell?
You what?
I said, did it right, Fluffy, on it, the pencil, before it fell? Did it right, Fluffy, on the shirt before it fell?
I can take this. I'm saying I'm gonna upload it.
Hey, Jerry, what does the shirt say? I can't make it out from here.
It's a personal shirt from Stone Cold Steve Austin to me.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but Fluffy, you said at one point that Stone Cold was an idiot and you could kick his ass.
Yeah, of course, again.
And there's
Yeah, you
there's
would.
one other
Can't.
issue. If it was intended for Jerry, it ain't gonna fit Fluffy.
Right.
Well,
Uh,
it might, because it's an extra large.
yeah,
It
that's
would for me. It's an extra large.
But you
Fluffy
can't,
would squeeze his ass
Why
into
you
that.
say
You know he would.
buddy?
you
Maybe
can't
see
would
what
just-
happened with the blue critter with the purple polka dots and the little and it was an extra large and you blew out the ass end of it.
Fluffy would use
Oh,
a
yeah.
shoehorn to get into that shirt.
yeah.
He'd need
No,
more
That
with
would,
shoe on.
that would go.
he would
On the
just hang
wall.
it up on his wall.
It's an awesome shirt. Don't get me wrong, but it's not that awesome.
I don't know why I like it so
For
much.
Jerry, it is.
It's
Because
The
it
awesome.
looks
reason I
like a
like it
football
so much
jersey.
is because it was the one shirt I had the money to buy on WWF.com when they had it up. And the day I went to get it, they sold out and they never re-put it up again. So I couldn't get it. I had Triple H's, I had Cena's, everything. That was the only other shit I couldn't get. That one on the Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah, big dog. Exactly.
Very true, sir. Yes, very
Did you
true.
get Fluffy in that shirt though? You know those things that are hydraulic that they put in like pipes in the industrial world or like log
Mhm.
jam shit down in them, you know?
Uh-huh.
Kapunk. Yeah, that's what you'd need to get Fluffy in an extra large.
Yeah, a press.
But it actually wouldn't probably go on me. It'd probably go up here somewhere.
Christy, it's really no different than the different Christian concepts. I mean, there are so many different Christian churches. They all follow a different way. So it's the same with Amish.
But
So I get my shelves put up on Tuesday to get on the little.
like I said, that
you're
was
gonna paint that wall.
by Steve Austin.
Cool.
I've got half of it's getting a mural put on by me. Yes.
Oh, okay.
So it's just basically it's up there only because I had to put something up because I used to have a Disney towel up there,
Right.
and everybody kept saying, "How much is the Disney towel?" And I'm like, enough. That's why I wear generic shirts now because people are like, "You want the shirt that you're wearing, Jerry?" And I'm like, "No."
Oh, they want the shirt off your back, literally.
Yeah, that's what they wanted. Like when I had the Jaws 2 one, they were like, "Throw that one in the pile." I'm like, "No, I need a shirt."
Hey, I never tried to buy a shirt off your back.
I just said I said I wanted the Jaws shirt you had, but it didn't have to be the one you were wearing. That doesn't make you Amish, Jesse. Although I would give you a quarter to see you in that hat.
Where? Let me see. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I want to see the store. Give it to me. Okay, she's showing the store. Let me see. Hey, you're so mean to me.
We wanted to see too, but I guess not.
It's karma, because you're mean to us.
Huh.
Yeah, but he hates us all equally, so you know.
I feel special. Yeah. Well, not really, equal.
On 11/20/2020, the other day.
Oh, okay. See, the Godzilla store.
Nice.
They just opened the other day.
What?
Godzilla.
I have no idea. All I seen was a glare, so.
It's a store that sells nothing but Godzilla stuff.
Jesse, your beard has to be trimmed a certain lengths and a way that the Amish do it. Yours is not.
And your clothes have to be made by your wife by hand in certain color tones. Then you have to wear the suspenders and the boots and
the coat, the jacket, the hat. Yeah, you have to. Yeah,
just in and out.
Into the corn.
No TV or internet. No phones. You have to harvest your own food.
Trucks.
Damn.
Then you gotta go and join the children of the corn.
Don't forget the picture while you're holding a hoe.
And some of the orders don't even have indoor plumbing.
If I hold a hoe, the wife's gonna beat me.
Right? Yes, Jesse, but they had to be trimmed neatly, not all scraggly.
Yes, and if you talk to an ex-Amish woman, they will tell you that every ex-Amish woman says they suck in bed. So if you suck in bed, you got it made, buddy.
Documentaries. It depends on the view of the documentarian. There are a lot of religions that are considered cults that aren't, and there are a lot of religions that are not considered a cult that are. So
Amish aren't actually a cult; they're a culture.
Yeah. Well, Christy said she watched the documentary, and I mean, there are always
documentaries, but I've also talked to Amish and women, Mennonite women.
I'm in the cult of Godzilla. Yeah, baby.
I've watched a lot of documentaries on the Amish, Christy. It just depends on which one you watch. There is bad views. I mean, there are Christian paths that are cult-like and would be considered a cult. And there are, I mean, some of the Jewish ones.
Oh, the Hito sticks. Oh,
yeah. I mean, there is extremes in all religions. So
exactly, there's good and bad in everything.
Yeah.
Those poor women, they gotta shave their heads and wear wigs. Oh.
Why?
Because they believe
natural hair is not allowed.
Yeah, they feel it's unclean.
Considered a vanity.
Yeah,
and it's considered a vanity and unclean.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yeah,
yes,
they apparently like man and women-scaping.
Yeah. Some of them do. Yeah, there are that's what we were saying, Jesse, is there's a lot of different, orders and paths and.
Actually, it's usually the Mennonites that have a phone. A few Amish have one in a box, like way on the back 40, for emergency purposes only, which the teenagers use constantly. Their parents just don't know it.
Right? Yeah. I mean, there's good and bad in every aspect of humanity. So
today's live chat is sponsored by Amish, Jerry's stuff, and whatever else.
When I worked for, I used to work for an Oldsmobile dealership a long time ago. And we had some Amish people come in. They traded in a Chevy Caprice for a Suburban. And both the car they traded in and the one they bought were black. They had options on those cars that I didn't even know you could get on them. And the one that they bought had a pinstripe on it, and they made us take it off. I didn't even know they drove, but
Jesse, that's not Amish. That's just a guy saying he's Amish and using it as an excuse for something, because the Amish don't have multiple wives.
No.
So.
Yeah, you can see.
I mean, it depends on what state you live, and even within the states, there are different orders and things. You know, just like
the whole polygamy thing.
Think about it. Look at all the different Christian paths. There's Baptist, there's Lutheran, there's Protestant, there's Episcopalian, there's
Floridian.
There's all kinds of different ones. They all do things a different way, and they usually fight over which way is the right way. Anybody can have a horse and buggy. I mean, they can emulate it. Doesn't mean that they are, because Amish do not have multiple wives. So he was not Amish. In the core of their culture, they don't have multiple wives.
That's out in Utah or whatever. The
polygamy.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome, dear.
I'm gonna just
Actually,
go
they chased off theirs.
Night, big dog.
Night, big dog.
Night, big dog.
See you, big dog.
No, actually, in Utah, they chased off most of their polygamy families. Most of them are now down in Nevada.
Yeah. I mean, there are multiple, like I was telling Christy, there are multiple documentaries about the Amish. So it all depends on which one you watch. A lot of it has to do with the skew of the documentarian.
Well, there was also docudrama.
Mormons have more than one wife? Really?
Yeah. Mormon. There is a certain sect of Mormon that are polygamy, and they have been for
not the Mormon as in the ones that's come to your door and dress in suits and ties and have the name tag. There's other types of Mormon.
I've never really explored Mormon religion.
We're heavy Mormon here. We're also heavy Jehovah's Witness.
Jehovah's Witnesses. I don't want anything to do with Jehovah's Witnesses. I don't. They caused a friend of mine's mother to be murdered, so I will not support them in any way.
I don't either.
What did you say about murder, Cody?
A friend of mine, when I lived in Massachusetts, her mom, when she was 10, she had been in a bad relationship. She was a Jehovah's Witness. Her partner was a Jehovah's Witness, and he used to beat the crap out of her all the time. So she left the state, moved to New Hampshire, and of course, she wanted to continue with her religion. So she joined the Jehovah's Witnesses there, but asked them to keep her name off their registry because she didn't want him to find her. Well, he started calling around to all of the Jehovah's Witnesses organizations, and he called them, and they told him she was there. He showed up at her work and shot her in the head in her car.
Oh, wow.
While her daughter and her son were at home waiting for mommy to come home. And yeah, the neighbors had to come over with the police, and it was bad. She was very traumatized. And that was, here's a battered woman who's trying to get away from a bad, and they just dropped her name. Boom. There she is, gave them her address and everything. So, yeah, no. Besides, they're annoying when they come to the door and you tell them you're not interested and they keep talking.
Oh, you didn't? Did you hear the story of what I did to the Mormons when they came to my buddy's door?
Oh, God, here we go.
I don't know if I told that on this or not.
No, I've never had Mormons come to my door. I've had plenty of Jehovah's, though.
No, I'm sorry, Jehovah's. Yeah, it was Jehovah's Witnesses. No, I probably already told that story here, didn't I?
Probably.
No. I don't know, but I have one I can tell too.
Me too. But it's not my story. It kind of is.
Oh, this one's mine.
Well, good, since nobody started. My martial arts friend, too bad, Conky, too slow. My martial arts friend that taught me Shaolin Kung Fu, right? He was raised Jehovah's Witness.
Was it good?
When he became an adult, he recovered. And when Jehovah's Witnesses would come to his door, he had been raised in the religion. So the little children that have to do the door-to-door thing in order to get into the Jehovah's Witness, clique, he would go, come on in. Meanwhile, his house is decorated in all Chinese and Japanese weaponry and pinnacles because he was pagan. So they thought they'd be able to get one over, and no, he would lecture them on what Jehovah, the whole religion was, and they'd leave crying. Okay, Conky, go.
All right, so I was at my buddy Rod's house. We just had dinner with Rod and Julie tonight. So when they first got married, my friends, they lived in an apartment complex, which was real easy for the Jehovah's Witnesses to go out and knock on each door. Well, it was a 2-bedroom apartment, and each bedroom was on either side of the living room. So he opens the door and lets him into the living room. I see what's going on. I run into one of the bedrooms. And I know what I'm going to do. I've wanted to do this for a long time. This was probably...
Oh, about 25.
Oh, at least. I was in my early 20s at the time. So I go into the one bedroom, and he's got him in the living room. They're sitting on the couch, and they're telling him all about the religion or whatever they're talking about. And he's listening because he's nice. He's the kind of person who'll sit there and listen to a telemarketer and not hang up on him, okay, to this day. So they got him in there, and he's listening and nodding his head and everything. I'm in the bedroom trying to get it together so I can do what I'm going to do. I'm biting the inside of my lip. So finally, with as straight a face as I can make, I open the door to the one bedroom, and I start walking towards the other bedroom. And I don't look at anybody. I don't really look at him. I don't look at the witnesses. I just said, Rod, you better hurry up. Sacrifice starts at 10:30. As I'm walking through the living room, go in the other room and shut the door. I go in there, and of course, I'm biting the inside of my lip really hard because I don't want to bust up laughing. And I hear them leave. And after they go, I walk out of the bedroom, and he's yelling at me. He goes, what did you do that for? They were nice. I said, what happened when I walked through? He said, well, they stopped in mid-sentence. They got this blank look on their face, and they just got up and walked out.
That's probably what they were expecting at my friend's house because of the way his house is set up. Okay, Willow, go.
I had Mormons knock on my door, and I let them rattle for a little while. And they said they could raise the dead. And I was like, whoa, wait a minute. Let me go get my jacket.
They could what the dead?
Raise the dead.
Raise the dead, okay.
R-A-I-S-E, raise the dead. And I was like, oh, wow, cool. Let me go get my jacket. So I shot back into the house. They're standing out there muttering to each other like, what the hell are we going to do now, And I grabbed my jacket and came running back up and said, okay, let's go. Where are we going? The cemetery. I got to see this. They couldn't get out of there fast enough. I was going to go to the cemetery with them. I mean,
I did have one that I pulled. I don't know if they were Jehovah's Witnesses or Mormons. I don't know. It was when I was a teenager and I was in Massachusetts, and we had half a day of school, so I was home early and nobody else was home. And I saw these people coming down and going door to door, and I knew what they were generally. I just didn't know which religion. And I have my Cocker Spaniel very, very well trained. And so I pulled the coffee table into the middle of the room, and I put a sheet over it, and then I had the dog get up and lay down on it. And then I went into the kitchen, and I got a big cleaver and put ketchup on it. And I put a little bit of ketchup on the dog. You don't know how much that dog wanted to start licking that ketchup, but she didn't. She was a good girl. They knocked on my door, and I was like, I answered the door. I'm like, you're interrupting, and they could see the coffee table, and they just went blank white and ran away from my house. And then I had to clean off the dog.
I can't do nothing. Yeah, Squashy's moment. So.
And then I had to clean off the dog before she ate all the ketchup, but it was funny.
I had to.
My mom came back and asked me, when my mom got home, she goes, "What happened to all the ketchup?" I'm like, "I don't know." I'm like, I don't know. Maybe Dad ate it. And he was old. He couldn't.
To my house when they said, "We want to keep you away from Satan." I said, "Why? He's in the next room. Want to come say hi?" And they're like, "What?" I said, "Yeah, he's here with me." I said, "We're fighting over who's going to take over." I said, "You're interrupting the game. Do you want to meet the man or not? If not, you got to go." I got things to do.
You should have told him you have to have
it. And they turned around and walked away.
Should have told him you have to have a fiddle to come in the room, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Fluffy, she doesn't go door to door and bother people.
No, she's Mormon as such. She's been baptized as a Mormon, and
I mean, I don't have
Mormon church. Hey, the Mormons came in and painted our house, for God's sake.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with people having other religions. Freedom of religion is great.
Yeah,
I just don't like it. I just don't like it when people push their religion on me, regardless of what my practices are. It's not your business to tell me I'm wrong. Go away.
Don't take this the wrong way. I mean, I'm not religious at all, because if there was something up there, he would have helped at least one person, that I know. And yeah.
Oh, that's what I told the priest long ago when I was with my Puerto Rican girlfriend. Because she said that I was crazy for the way that I was talking and all that. And I said, "Why?" I said, "Don't you find it rather odd that there were less people way back then when Jesus and God showed up and took care of things? And now that there's more people, more problems, he ain't showing up? Does he have a problem with us or what? Mm-hmm. Show up and fix the problem. Show them you're alive or just give it up."
Think about it. If you walked past a tree that was on fire and told people to talk to you, where would you end up?
Exactly.
That always seemed a little odd to me.
Don't get me wrong, each to their own with the religions, but I don't have one.
Well, that's your prerogative too. You don't need to have one.
Thing is there's religious and there's spiritual.
Yeah.
I'm spiritual. I'm not religious. Mm-hmm. Even though I was baptized Southern Baptist.
I was baptized Protestant.
Mm-hmm. I was baptized Roman Catholic.
I freaked out my mom. I told my mom, because by the time I had my kids, I was pagan, and I told my mom, I said, "I can't have them baptized, Mom." She goes, "Why?" I was like, "Because then I won't be able to make flying ointment." She freaked the fuck out. And for everybody not laughing, one of the old recipes for flying ointment was the fat of an unbaptized child.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
That's why Willow got it and none of the rest of you did. So my mom, my mom got temporary custody of my kids when they were for like 3 months. She took the little fuckers and got them baptized on me. I'm like, what the hell? I was pissed because it was not her choice to make, but she went and did it probably because of what I said. But it was fine. So yeah, but all of my kids are baptized. Didn't help them any, but they're baptized.
No. Funny thing Cocky and I have is he graduated from a Catholic high school, and I went to public school, and I am Catholic, and he just thought that was just,
I'm not really anything.
No, I just told the priest, I said, "It's in the book." I said, "You get mad at me because I don't go to church, right?" He said, "Well, yeah, you're supposed to go every Sunday." I said, "Really?" Because God said in the Bible, as long as I hold him in my heart, I don't need to go to that building.
Yeah, it's just a building.
Want me to go there to give you money.
Yeah.
So no, I'm going to stay home and enjoy my Sundays.
But it also said in the Bible though that Jesus had like all the ailments we have. He had everything, and
Well, I would think
I've never once seen him have a fit. I've never once known him to have depression. I've never known him to have no legs.
Well, I would think, in my own personal opinion, that it would be more natural to just go outside to worship God. Because in the Christian religion, God created everything. So wouldn't the entire world be his church? You know what I mean? The whole planet.
That's why in the Bible he says, as long as you worship him in your heart, he's fine with it. It's man who made the church to put $1 in his pocket.
Right.
That's why when Jesus went to the church that time and saw all the taxpayers there, or the taxmen there collecting all the money, he got bullshit and kicked them all out.
Yep.
But religion became such a big thing that it's just a problem.
Yeah, it's a business now. It's not, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, that's why with my faith, spirituality, whatever, it's just, if I go outside and I just breathe in, as long as the neighbors aren't smoking weed, I'm good. Or the roommates, I go and just breathe in and just say thank you or do whatever. You know what I mean? That's because in my religion, you know, the gods and the goddesses created everything. So, you know, a little different, but still the same theory. You know, nature is the best way you can honor them, you know? So, and it's just, I never liked, when I was a kid, I never liked going to church. It just seemed wrong when I was a child because, you know, you have to go. Why? You know, my dad was really happy when I got kicked out
on Hellfire and Brimstone.
My dad was really happy when I got kicked out of Sunday school and couldn't go anymore because then he didn't have to go to church anymore. Well, I realized there was a little side story to that when my dad was so happy because my dad was actually German Canadian. He was raised Jewish. His actual name was Jacob Carroll. And when he became a United States citizen, he changed it to John Charles. So it's more non-Jewish, I guess. And so going to a Christian church when you were raised Jewish, I guess, was very uncomfortable for him. I don't know. He was never really a religious person unless it suited him. But, you know, yeah. But I found out that little side story later on in life. I was like, because I ran across his citizenship papers and it showed that it changed his name, you know, and I'm like, I looked at my mom. I said, Jacob Carroll, really? Like this? And she goes, don't say that name out loud. I'm like, ooh, okay. Like, my bad. But yeah, his parents got out of Germany just in time before the Hitler thing. So they went to Canada and lived on a farm in the middle of nowhere in Canada. And they had 9 children. I'm like, they should have tried farming more. Obviously, they weren't tired enough. Yeah.
Apparently, they couldn't afford dessert.
Yeah, I'm like, wow. But yeah.
Yeah.
I'm wondering how he's doing in the afterlife since my mom had the whole, all of his memorials and his funeral and everything was Christian. And Jewish funerals are a lot different. Their burial systems are different. So, what's really eerie is I already have a cemetery plot waiting for me. I'm like, what the fuck?
So do I.
Yeah, in Massachusetts, it's a family plot, and they had one left, and apparently it's mine. I said, give it to my kid. I'm like, oh, I'm getting cremated. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Same with me. I'm getting cremated, and my ashes are going on National Forest.
Well, knowing my children, my ashes will probably get thrown away.
I just want mine put in the compost, turn it into shite.
How will anybody notice it? Never mind, that was mean. Sorry. Sorry, Bobby.
I'm not bothered with me. I don't give a.
It was too mean even for me. I'm sorry.
Hey, I've always said, cremate me and scatter me over cornfields so everybody can eat my ass.
I always wanted to
That'd be a big meal.
Buried with my butt in the air, naked and bare, so people can kiss it goodbye. And the funeral director said, "No, I can't do that." I'm like, "Why not? That's my wish." Nope, can't do that. Okay, fine.
John used to say the same thing, Tim.
Huh?
You give somewhere to park the bike.
Mm-hmm.
John used to say that too. You people need to stop channeling John. Seriously.
Go ahead.
John used to say both of those things. He wanted to be buried ass up so everybody could kiss his ass, and he'd be like, and they'd have a place to park their bike. And I'm like, I was like, I don't think you want that to happen. He goes, why? I was like, because I have lube.
I've said that for years.
Yeah, John used to say it too. Creepy.
You should have some rubber near there.
But my friend in California, his wish was for his ashes to be put in fireworks and shot out over the one of the bays, a bay in California. It had to be on the coast of California, and that shit's expensive. It costs like $20,000, and he died, and it sucked because he was an actor and he was always doing like small theater stuff, and he really wanted to be in a movie or TV series. He finally got on one of those vampire movie TV things. He even had his pictures taken in costume and everything, and he looked damn good too. And then he didn't show up on the first day of filming, and nobody could figure out why, because everybody knew he was so excited about it. And like people were trying to call him for like 2 days. People tried to call him, and they finally showed up at his house, and he had been dead for 5 days.
Wow. An
aneurysm in his stomach blew, and it killed. They said it killed him pretty much instantly, but
yeah.
So his friend was the executor of his will, and I mean he really didn't have too many things, but his last wish was that about his remains being shot out in fireworks. It took us 6 months, and I had money at the time, so I was able to donate like $50 towards it. We raised the money to have his ashes put in fireworks, and she videoed the fireworks being shot out over the San Diego Bay.
Cool.
Yeah. Cool. So Eric was immortalized, big booming color over San Diego Bay. Yeah. So I was glad that his wish was able to be fulfilled, but most pagans are very poor because we pretty much give everything away. You know what I mean? And it's like something and we have it, we give it. And so it took a long time to be able to raise that much money. So
I'm not pagan.
What?
Pagan most things away.
But yeah, I mean there was a GoFundMe plus through our circles and all that. So they managed it. They got it raised.
Right.
Well, he was a huge part of our community on AOL, and he was a very smart man and very in tune with things. And I had a lot of really nice conversations with him. I miss him. We've lost a few of our people very suddenly, aneurysms or car accidents that killed them instantly, things like that. It's really weird, but at least they didn't suffer. But I mean, like one of our friends, he was walking across the yard. They were having a barbecue, and he lived in Texas. And he's just walking, talking to his neighbor, and just dropped. Boom. It was an aneurysm in his brain. Just went, and he was gone that quick.
One of the guys I worked with is younger than me, a couple years younger than me. He didn't show up on the job on a Monday morning, and they knew he was fine Sunday because he has a gun range or a pew range down off behind our shop, and they knew he was down there because they seen him and heard him, and he didn't show up on the job Monday morning. So the big boss went over to see what was going on to his house, and his garage door was open, his back door was open, and he was at the bottom of his steps dead with hamburgers and with a bag of hamburgers and stuff in his hand still.
Damn.
They don't know if he went to go in the door and missed a step or what and fell, or if he had an aneurysm and fell, I think is what they said.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was down at the bottom of the steps.
Damn. And it's in a way it's good that people aren't suffering, but another way it's such a shock to their, the people that care about them that it's hard to deal with. I mean, when John went, I said goodnight to him the night before, like always do. And then I heard him get up at midnight to go to the bathroom, and 7 o'clock the next morning, Issa is in my room screaming that he's cold.
Yep.
And I'm like, what? Why are you telling me he's cold? Put a blanket on him. And I was asleep. I wasn't comprehending it. And Talon was crying because his mother's hysterical, and I had to get in the wheelchair and go out there, and he was gone.
Yeah.
And we lost a friend to a car accident, and it was a freakish car accident. her minivan broke down. She was on the highway. Her minivan broke down. She called a tow truck. For some reason, the tow truck driver brought his wife. I don't know if it was the wife not wanting a female in the tow truck or what. I don't know what that was all about. But, and she's chatting with us in AOL, telling us what's going on. And she's like, okay, tow truck's here. Looks like he brought his wife, blah, blah, blah. I'll, contact you guys when I get home. And we're like, okay. She never made home. Big Rig crossed the median and smashed the tow truck head on.
Oh, wow.
Killed her and his wife. He ended up paralyzed.
Wow.
I mean, just a freak act. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah.
And Raven was the sweetest person. She was such an awesome person. We were really good friends, and that was hard. But the moral of all these sad stories, making me cry, is that you should always let the people you care about know that you care about them every day.
This is true.
Yep.
Yeah, today's here, tomorrow's not promised.
Yep. Cody is having a moment. Cody will be right back.
Already tomorrow here.
True.
Cody's having technical difficulties.
Yeah, with my eyeballs.
They're leaking.
They're leaking. Well, no, that's what.
Leak.
With all of the people, because John was part of the community, even though he was kind of a shoulder surfer part of the community.
Yeah.
With all of the people that we lost so suddenly, him and I made the agreement that we would say I love you at least once every day. So I'm really glad that the night the night before we said our usual thing, he was like, okay, Bear, going to bed, love you. And I said, night, asshole, love you too. That was our usual thing.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, he always said he was an asshole, so that's what I called him. I was like, okay, asshole, good night, love you too. But we said it, and I'm really glad that we did, because I would have felt even worse, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So, and that's why my mom never says I love you. She never says it unless I say it first. So I make sure, because she'll be like, okay, talk to you later, and I'm like, bye, I love you. And I make sure I say it. And she's like, oh, love you too. Like, it's an afterthought. Thanks, Mom.
Yeah.
But I make sure I say it because my mom's 88 years old.
Yeah.
So, although she's in better health than me, which, I'm a little irritated about, but I'm glad for her. It sucks for me. But yeah, you should always tell, and even if you don't say, even if it's not an I love you thing, let people know that you appreciate them or that you care about them. It's, even though Jerry tortures me, I care about him. I appreciate him.
I don't torture anybody.
Yes, you do. Nah, Bibber. The mental torture is
my life.
The mental torture is real, dude. Let me tell you.
I am mental.
We all is that on some level, form, fashion, or another. Sadly.
Otherwise, we wouldn't be here.
There you go. Oh.
But yeah, that's why I let people know that I appreciate them. So many people in this community, the reseller community and the crazy community, have helped me out tremendously. And I hate having to ask. I really do. I hate it because I used to be the person that helped people.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm the person that needs a lot of help. And people have, really been so sweet to me. And so I make sure that I let them know. But you love me anyway, so shut up.
Yeah, I know.
Somebody's got to.
So I make sure I let them know.
Thank you, only because you did give me a seat in the boat when the Titanic went down. So I thought I'd get back and give it to you as well.
Thanks.
Something nice for you one day.
Thanks. Appreciate that. When they make a new Hindenburg, he's going to give me his seat.
Yep.
Look, Cody knows history facts.
I know him too. I got him tattooed on my thigh.
That must have hurt.
Nah. I just pressed the book real hard against it.
Fresh ink, huh?
That's it.
Iron on cancer.
Yeah.
Oh, that would hurt. Willow only says that because she's always got an iron handy. She's willing to do the work for you.
Hey, I'm a seamstress. What do you expect?
But no, I do. I try and always let people know that I appreciate them,
Quit that, Conky.
I'm going to mark this down that on this day you said you appreciated me. So I'll know that next time when I go and take something like this and say, I'm going to put it up in front of you.
No.
See, you can't do that. You got to say, I appreciate you, Jerry.
I appreciate your evilness, Jerry.
Or gritted teeth.
I can't even grit them. I don't have enough teeth to grit, but yeah, same principle.
Figuratively speaking.
Yeah.
Oh.
I guess I'm going to call it a night.
You guys smell this?
Oh, Lee Allen.
Ew.
I am so glad we don't have smell-o-vision.
Nobody wants to
Well,
see that.
the camera's right there, the microphone's right there. I figure there's a little sensor there somewhere that make it so that all that smell goes.
No, and thank God there's not. That's all on you, dude. Poor Noreen's like, oh.
Poor Noreen.
Poor Noreen.
Noreen. In Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, where John Candy takes his oh, my dog's barking today.
Uh-huh.
Oh, we gotta drag that movie out.
Yeah, we do. It's Thanksgiving.
Which was so ironic considering he was a dog in Spaceballs.
Yeah. Almost forgot about that movie.
Barf.
And Uncle Buck.
His real name was Bartholomew.
Right? Bartholomew. But they called him Barf.
Yeah.
I like him in Uncle Buck.
Oh, yeah, that's a classic.
That's one of my favorites.
You want to see my little, what do you call that? Bug, you want to see that?
Oh, yeah. You want to see my hatchet? Maybe later. Okay.
Yeah.
Best part about that movie was the bear. Bears are good.
Bear.
That's his best movies.
It was a bear in Uncle Buck, wasn't there? Or am I thinking of a different movie?
Thinking of a different movie.
I watched so many bear movies. I watched
That
so
was
many bear movies.
Automobiles.
There was a bear in I never watched that one.
There might have been. He was in a movie with where he was a air traffic controller, and they go out to the nature. They go out to the woods. Dan Aykroyd was in it.
Yeah, maybe that was it.
Yeah.
Great Outdoors.
Yeah, The Great Outdoors. That was it.
Cool.
Yeah, I knew it was one of them. I watched so many bear movies. Come on, think about it.
Bears eat beets.
False.
Bears eat whatever the hell they want to eat, and you don't argue or try and take their food away.
Yeah.
And they do wherever they want to.
Yeah.
Oh.
My favorite bear movie of all time, though, is Grizzly. It's from like the 70s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
Not Yogi Bear.
Nope. Nice.
Grizzly.
Why does that not surprise me? It's a good movie.
It is. It's a cheesy one, but
yeah. But I mean, I watched it the first time I watched it was when I was a teenager. So,
well actually, the 70s.
Yeah, I mean, I was
loaded with cheesy.
I think it came out in 77, 78, something like that. Check it, Jerry. Tell me when it came out.
He's got to transfer the Roman numerals to MCM.
Magnifying glass.
I know how to do that. That's easy. But no, it's just showing the year that they did the DVD, which was 2000.
Well, the movies.
Well, I think it was 77 because it was cashing in on the Jaws craze.
Yeah.
Internet Movie Database.
Yep.
1976.
Is it 76?
And you got
76, yeah.
Prophecy. And what else? Piranha.
That was a weird movie.
Yeah, I never cared for that one. Give me
You
Jaws.
know what else I liked was Day of the Animals. I love that movie, Day of the Animals.
Yeah. Any of you remember one called Bogey Creek Monster?
Legend of Bogey Creek.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen the name, but I've never watched it.
Bogey Creek Monster, I think. Or something of that nature. Seen them at a drive-in.
Yeah.
That was another cheesy one.
I remember a long time ago watching a movie when we first got married. And it was about this guy driving around in a Dodge Dart and a big truck after him trying to run him off the road.
That was Duel.
And for years, I never knew the name of the movie. Then I figured it out. Yeah, it was a Steven King.
Steven Spielberg's first movie.
Yeah.
Well, there's Maximum Overdrive, and then there's another one that's like a little spin-off of it.
No, Duel was the one with the big oil tanker that was chasing after Dennis Weaver.
Yeah.
Down the highway.
Because there's one I just freaking watched on Amazon actually, and Trucks or something, I don't know, but they're at a gas station in Nevada near the Area 51 that doesn't exist. Yeah, and trucks start taking over and killing people and shit like that. Guy gets run over in the shower. Can you imagine? That would suck.
Yeah, I know the one you're talking about.
You can always get the classic from the 70s, Killdozer.
Never heard of that one.
That was a TV movie. That was where an alien entity took over a big bulldozer and it started going around killing people.
Okay.
I have never heard that one, but okay.
Have you ever heard of what was the name of that one with Torgo in it? Torgo. I am Torgo. And they played the creepy Torgo music. Oh, what the hell was the name of that movie? It was on Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Oh God!
It had Torgo in it. It was like the worst movie ever made. But the
Hands
guy,
of Fate.
yeah, Manos, the Hands of Fate. You ever see that? Oh, that is.
Talk about movie made out of she's.
Oh, that was a horrible.
Why don't you try watching Plan 9 from Outer Space? There you go. That is the worst movie ever made.
Oh,
Terror in Tiny Town with all the midgets from The Wizard of the Oz.
I've heard that movie.
They're all playing. It's a Western movie.
Oh yeah.
No, I was right. The name of the movie is actually Trucks by Stephen King.
Yeah.
I think one of the funniest bad movies that was bad it was good was that Dolomite.
Dolomite. Oh yeah.
The worst. No, see the movies that I like to watch. My family calls my stupid animal movies because I like the animal revenge movies or the animal fight back movies. And when Blockbuster was still a thing, John and I went to Blockbuster and I was looking, for movies, and I found one that was about scorpions, and I was like, oh, that looks like it might be interesting. Yeah, we shut it off after 5 minutes. The scorpions looked like they were made out of paper mache. And they were just and you could see the little sticks in the lines. I'm like, no, even I can't watch this one. I'm like, no. So he's like, well, it can't be any worse than your scorpion movie. I'm like, shut up. For years, I heard about that movie. It was terrible.
Giant spider invasion. They took a Volkswagen Beetle and put a fake spider thing on top of it.
Oh yeah.
But then John rented a movie that was really bad, so I was like, okay, this cancels out my scorpion movie. We're even now.
Oh, what was that movie?
I don't remember because it was so bad. I don't remember what it was, but it was really bad. That one lasted 3 minutes. Yeah. Yeah.
See, but I got a lot of those all up here.
Yeah. Did you ever see the movie Squirm?
Yeah.
Yeah. I know Jerry probably has it.
Squirm?
Yeah.
And frogs.
Yep. Those are some creepy ass movies. Let me tell you, watching those when you're 10 years old is horrifying.
And Blob was another one.
Yeah, Blob.
Hey, Jerry.
Yeah.
You know your horror movies pretty well.
Yeah.
Back in it had to have been the early 70s. There was a movie that my sister was watching on TV. It was like a guy was in a haunted house. Okay.
Oh, that doesn't narrow it down.
Well, but this will. He was laying in a bed in this giant, what do you call it? The thing with a blade that comes out and swings like this?
Pendulum.
With a blade on it comes down, it swings. It was like swinging across his neck as he was laying in the bed. And that's the only scene I remember from that movie.
Kind of thing. I know it's not.
Didn't Saw do one of them?
I know it's not Pit and the Pendulum because that's Vincent Price. But I know the movie because I know the scene you're talking about. I'm just trying to remember the name.
Well, the only horror I've ever watched is Jaws and Salem's Lot.
I like aliens. I can deal with the alien movies. I love the Alien and Predator movies.
Jerry, if you think of that movie, write it down, and I want to know the name of it.
What it is? Yeah, I will. I'll check through one of my books because I'm just trying to think. Because he gets stuck on the bed, and all of a sudden it comes down from the canopy.
Yeah,
Just
or the
starts
ceiling or
swinging.
something. It just starts swinging by his neck.
Yeah.
That's the
And he
only
manages
scene I
to
remember
get
from that
out.
movie.
I think it either stops before it cuts him, or he manages to get out just before it cuts him. I know the movie. I'm just trying to remember it. It's been so long.
See, I figured you'd know that one.
Yeah, see?
I've been trying to think of the name of that movie for years and years and years and years and years. Probably 6 or so. It had to have been early 70s.
Yeah. It was in the 70s.
Is it the Raven movie?
What?
The Raven movie?
No.
Because there's also the Pit and the Pendulum.
The Pit and the Pendulum was the original with Vincent Price.
Yeah, that shows a guy stuck on his bed with a pendulum over him.
Masquerade of the Red Death.
The only thing I remember was this guy, for some reason, was in this creepy house, and he had to stay there for some reason.
That's the Pit and the Pendulum, sounds like.
No, because the pendulum was when Vincent Price put him down the dungeon and strapped him to the thing, and then had the pendulum come onto him there. But that was on a stone, big stone block.
Yeah. This guy was just laying on a bed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Noreen just Googled it.
The Fall of the House of Usher?
No.
No.
It might have been a rerun then. I don't know.
There is a rerun of it called a One-Way Pendulum. It's about an insane, wonderful dude. Absolutely bizarre, crazy film. He saw it in the 70s and shot in the fit sleeves and
I don't know. I'm not big on horror movies. All I can do is Google, and all I came up with was The Raven and The Pit and Pendulum.
Eric Seiss was in it.
I'll
Jerry
know
will find it.
when I see the picture.
That funky. Huh, that looks like a comedy.
Huh.
That's that One-Way Pendulum.
Well, I didn't mean to bring the chat to a screaming halt with that.
No, we're looking for it now. We're like all searching for this movie now. It's like a mission.
Yeah.
I'm just stitching.
I had it. I mean, I had the picture a minute ago.
I'm just sitting here and all because, yeah.
I can find it again.
The Roger
There it is.
Corman movie. House of Usher.
Shit. That gave me a damn. Okay. Fluffy, if I share my screen, Jerry might be able to see the picture that I found. Hold on, let me. Come on, computer, work. Chrome tab. And then Conky can tell me if that's the one too. Is this a picture of him, or is that a different scene?
He was in a bed. I don't know if that's it or not.
Run the clip because that doesn't look like it.
Okay. That was the closest picture I could find of him, somebody being in a bed.
I mean, this was almost 50 years ago I saw this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
Jerry, you might have saw that movie more recently.
Well, I give up. I'm not good with freaking horror movies.
And that was just a little scene in the movie. I doubt if it was the defining.
Yeah.
The one that you're showing is for The Raven, and that's from 2012.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, all I did was put 70s horror movie with pendulum scene, so. That's all I had to work with. Sorry. Apparently, pendulums were very popular.
Yeah, it's a fun tool. You know, I'm sure if I go, I know I got some of my books that have a lot of the horror stuff. I'm sure I'll find it. Because now it's got my brain going. Because I remember the guy, because I remember he was lying there, and all of a sudden he wakes up and he opens up his eyes and he sees the pendulum come down.
Yeah.
And he can't get out of the bed, and it just starts going back and forth. So see, I know the movie, see? It's probably one that I only saw like once way back when. If I had seen it like 5 times, then I'd be able to say, oh, it's this movie with this actor.
Yeah.
I'm just amazed I found somebody who knew what I was talking about with that.
I'm not crazy. I didn't make it up.
Yeah, so this day when I go to bed, I make sure the covers are up to here.
Yeah, because that'll stop it.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know. It just makes me feel more comfortable.
What you need to make sure is that you don't sleep in a bed with a canopy.
That's what I was going to say. I just make sure I don't have a canopy for a bed.
That too.
No. Because then I'm going to be like looking up on top and everything and throwing things, making sure the pillow comes over the other side.
Yeah.
But those were the fun days for the movies, was in the 70s.
Yeah. You look on a Saturday afternoon, the UHF channel would be showing a movie like The Van or Corvette Summer or something like,
I always like the Creature double features.
Yeah. I remember when Channel 56 used to run those all the time.
Yep.
When I come up 77 from about an hour south of here, there's a sign. There's 2 towns right next to each other. One's called Bolivar and one's called Zor. And anytime I'm driving up there and I see the sign that says Bolivar Zor, I go, I am Bolivar, son of Zor. After what you would see it on a Saturday afternoon movie,
I am so sorry, Noreen.
What is that?
I could just imagine driving around in a car with Conky, just random childhood shit coming out of his face,
Fine, that's what my wife goes through. What she loves is when I wake up, if she was watching a movie right now and I was in bed and I wake up, I'd be like, why are you watching so-and-so? She'd be like, how the frick do you know what's on? For Christ, I hate you. You know this freaking movie. Or if we're watching Jaws, especially, I'll I'll be saying all their lines. I won't even be watching. The TV be here. I'll be doing this and I'll be saying their lines. She says, why do you even have it on? She says, you know all the lines.
We do that with Tombstone and Shawshank and The Green Mile.
Oh, Shawshank's one of the best movies.
Yeah.
That's one of the best FU movies with the best ending.
Yep.
We haven't seen that.
What always irritated John and I is that Issa would ask questions during a movie. I'm like, just shut up. If we take the time to explain it, we miss the movie. So shush. Don't talk during the movie. Take notes.
I told her, be quiet. And she's like, why? You already know what's going to happen. So just tell me.
Have any of y'all watched Yellowstone?
Huh.
No, I don't know.
It's a newer, ain't it?
It's a TV series.
Oh, no.
Season right now.
That's the one with Kevin Costner, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
There
I can't
is
say Kevin Costner.
a jewelry reseller on YouTube that I know well. Her name is
Oh, yeah,
Gianna
you
Little
told us.
White Woman or Little White Man, and she is a dear friend and adopted daughter because Just Sandy was adopted into her tribe. She is full 100% Native American. Any of the Native American garb on that series, she created by
That's
hand.
awesome.
Wow.
That's
Jenna,
good.
I have to wait for it to get to Netflix. Sorry. If
It's
it
worth
gets
it. Make note, it's worth it.
Yeah, well, if it goes on Netflix, I will watch it. That's cool, though. That's very cool.
but Gianna made it?
Yes.
Gianna made it, yeah.
Every bit
Cool.
of Native American garb
Right.
on the TV series, she made by hand.
Wow.
And it
Cool.
was bought by the network
Right.
from her directly.
Sweet.
That's very cool.
So yeah.
Did they go to her and tell her what they wanted, or did they say, look, we just need Native American garb, come up with whatever you...
Somebody within the network said that they needed Native American garb. It was originally supposed to be for a movie, I guess, but then it wasn't used. And then the network, I guess, recontacted and said we need it for a TV series, so we're going to buy it anyways. They were under contract anyway, so they didn't have much of a choice. But they had to find a use for it, I think is what it boiled down to.
But did she have the creative license in making it, or was she given like an order for something specific to make?
I think it was just like basic, we need tunic and trow, Native American style, or we need a Native American wedding dress, that kind of thing. And she had creative freedom to make them within her culture and how it's done, authentic.
Yeah.
Well, that makes it more authentic anyway. If somebody from the network goes and we want this exact design, make it for us.
Yeah, because Hollywood and TV fucks up everything.
Yeah, but she wouldn't do forced design. So just knowing Gianna as I do, she would not do forced design. It's her way or the highway.
It would compromise integrity, so.
Sandy both.
Well, if she's going to have to sit there and weave on every single one of those little teeny tiny seed beads, she's going to want to do it her way. If you're going to put that kind of hours of work into something, it's going to be your way. You ain't going to do it however, if they want that, they can go to China.
Well, I hope they compensated her well for it.
As far as I know, yes.
Okay.
She set prices, they agreed to pay them.
There you go. I've always wanted to, with my cars, not my toy cars, my real cars, I've always thought it'd be neat to, be approached by a movie company. Yeah, we need this kind of car. Because I've got some, not really old cars, but I've got some cars that are in really good shape that could be used in a movie that takes place in the 80s. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Well, where were you when Dukes of Hazzard was trashing all those General Lees?
Yeah, I wouldn't have supplied them to something like that. I'm afraid if I were to supply one of my cars, it'd be like, well, it better come back exactly in this condition, or
yeah, they won't guarantee that. They won't.
Well, they would be. Jerry probably knows more about this, but don't they have to at least agree either to return it in the condition they got it in, or pay for whatever they do to it, or?
No, they have you sign a waiver, and what it is that you're loaning them your car, knowing that something may happen to it, and you absolve them of any, problems. That if the thing comes back with a busted headlight or whatever, they don't have to pay for it. That's on you. You knew that by loaning it, that this is what's going to happen. This is why, like when they do, a scene like in the store in a mall, they gotta, either pay for everything that's in that store so they can destroy it, or they make fakes of it so that way it doesn't cost them as much.
They clear it out and then put their shit in so that they can destroy it.
Clear it all out, and that's what they do. Because they can't guarantee anything, because anything can happen on a movie set.
Yeah.
Like they're flying a helicopter in to land in the field, but a gust of wind comes over and it pushes the helicopter and it cuts out, the tree next to your house and it falls on your house. Everything is insured for those things. That's why insurance premiums are high on a movie set.
That's why they don't let most of the actors do their own stunts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The real dangerous ones. I mean, they were going to let Vin Diesel wanted to do one of the stunts on his the first XXX movie where he was on top of the boat that was being driven through the canals and everything. And they wouldn't let him do it. They said, no, insurance won't let you do that. And that's the boat that hit the piling and killed the stunt guy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's like when I was at San Diego Comic-Con, when I think it was Tomb Raider Cradle of Life came out.
Yep.
And Angelina Jolie wanted to parachute in.
Yeah, they wouldn't let her do it.
They said no. She kept saying, but I'll pay. And they said, no, you're not doing that.
Now, she did do a lot of her stunts where she was attached to wires and whatnot.
Yeah.
But
for that at the convention, they wouldn't let her parachute in.
What was really cool
convention
is in the second Tomb Raider movie where she was on the bungees and she was doing all that ballet and artistic. She was actually doing that. That was cool. I give her props for doing that shit. And it looked like.
But look what happened when he went to go jump from one building to the other, and he broke his ankle.
Yeah.
When he fell short and he just grabbed on, and you see his leg whack into the wall.
Now, who was that?
In the movie, but then they picked up from where he gets on top and goes running. But that was after like 6 weeks of him healing.
And who was that?
Tom Cruise.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't Jackie Chan do the same thing in one of his movies?
That's why everybody loves staying at the end of his movies, because you get to see all the times when he fails.
Yeah.
And everything. And then, how he gets hurt. Like when he tries to duck to a grocery car and he whacks his head and he's like, oh, or something with one of the sticks. And he's like, and so.
And Jackie Chan doesn't mess around either. He does full hits and shit. And that's crazy. Didn't he injure a stunt guy? Or one of his people?
But he, you can look it up. It's on YouTube. I forget who it is that he has. He turns his head around. He says, feel the hole in the back of my head. And he's got a hole in the back of his head from one of the stunts.
One of the coolest stunts I ever saw was in, remember the movie Born Identity?
Yep.
Where he's running through the building and he jumps out the window and goes down the floor and crashes through the window. Down one floor down in the next building over.
Yeah.
Remember that scene?
Yeah.
I gotta wonder how they did that.
It's all on wires.
Was he on a wire?
Yeah.
Boy, I'll tell you what, if he wasn't on a wire, that'd have been the most dangerous thing to.
Because it's amazing that's why, like I said, that's why I like watching the behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah.
Because you see it, and you'll see them when Tomorrow Never Dies, James Bond.
Mm-hmm.
He's with what's her name?
Haley Berry?
The Chinese stunt girl that does all the action movies. But she's on the back of the motorcycle with him, and they go over a helicopter. In the movie, when you watch it, you're like, oh, that's cool. But when you see the behind the scenes of all the wires that are attached to them to carry them over.
Yeah.
But it looks like, but then they edit it all out.
Yeah.
And it looks It's like, nope, they did it on their own, but they didn't.
But it's cool to see all that behind the scenes stuff because it humanizes the actors. I mean, so many people put these actors up on huge pedestals, and yeah, they're great at their job.
Lucy Liu.
They're not
No,
super.
it wasn't Lucy Liu. It was, like I said, I want to say like Michelle Kwan or something like that.
Yeah.
Michelle Kwan, however you say her name.
But it's nice. It's nice to see. You know which back behind the scenes things I love to see the most are the comedian movies, like the Santa Claus with Tim Allen. Watching all the bloopers and all the stuff they screw up on is so funny.
Yeah, because those are all when they start. Like if you ever watch Liar Liar, watch after the end when they show all the goof ups that they do.
Yeah.
You know, but that's why I enjoy when I'm on the movie sets because you see all the stuff.
Well,
And,
look
at that, and you know.
Yeah.
That's a good example, like watch the movie Central Intelligence with The Rock and Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
When they land the chopper at the end in front of the high school,
yeah,
they changed the name digitally on the screen on the high school, but the name of the high school is called English High. But when they go inside, they're at Classical High School. That's a different high school that's in the city.
Yeah.
Because the gym that they wanted to use wasn't the right size in that school, so they had to go to the other high school. But I only know that because I was on set with them, so I knew it.
You know what I loved was the new Sonic movie. Well, not new, but the Sonic movie that they just had come out with Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
And the scene where he's like just dancing and being crazy. People asked him, well, how did they guide you on doing that? He goes, no. They turned music on and told me to do whatever I wanted, so I did.
Sometimes that's what it is.
And that scream.
The comedians, they let them go and say, just ad lib.
That scream when he turns around and the guy's standing there with like coffee or whatever, and he's like, ah, that's real. He didn't expect him to be there. He goes, no, that was real. He scared the crap out of me. I love Jim Carrey, although he's getting a little out there in his later years. He's kind of spacey now, but his movies are still great,
You think?
You remember when he was on In Living Color?
Yep, I do. With the little pigtails.
He was like Fireman Bob or something. He was always setting himself on fire.
Yep, or he was doing the little pigtails and acting like a girl. Yeah, he was funny.
I seen the Dr. Seuss that he did,
Mm-hmm.
and that was the first time that I'd seen him do anything since Ace Ventura.
Yeah.
Jim Carrey, movies I watch.
He's funny. I even liked him in the Batman movie when he was the Riddler. I liked him. A lot of people don't like that movie, but I liked it.
I don't know whether I like it or not because the last Batman that I watched had Keaton in it.
Well, he's the new SNL's hired him to parody Joe Biden. Jim Carrey.
That should be interesting.
And Maya Rudolph
for a while.
I don't know. I still miss Robin Williams, though.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, me too.
Yes.
There was somebody you wound up just letting go.
Yeah.
The weirdest one I ever seen him do was The World According to Garp.
Yeah. My favorite, I won't say my absolute favorite, but one of my favorites was Good Morning Vietnam.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
That was a
good that one.
I absolutely loved that movie. And I don't know why it calls to me so much. Maybe because during that time is when I was born and I was adopted. So I don't know if my dad if my biological father was a serviceman that never came back, or whatever. I have no idea what my lineage, history, anything is. So I don't know. Maybe that's why it calls to me so much. But I just absolutely love that movie.
I've seen parts of that movie, but yeah, that train of thought just kept going.
You know what I found out last night? And I told her that she needs to watch this movie to save our friendship. Just kidding. We'll still be friends. But I found out that Wendy has never watched The Crow. I was like, what?
Brandon Lee.
Is that a movie about a bird?
That's the movie that
Brandon
Bruce Lee stood.
Bruce Lee's son.
He died in that movie.
Yeah, he died shortly after that movie. Yeah.
No, he died during the filming of that
While the
movie.
movie was being made, he got shot with a prop gun.
Yep.
Oh, okay. All right. I know. Which
Yeah.
And she goes, I think I have it. I'm like, why do you have it and not watch it? She goes, I don't know. I buy DVDs and throw them on the shelf. I'm like, watch it. So she actually, while we were on video call, went down to where her videos were, and she found it. And she goes, look, I have it. I said, good. Now watch it. Yep, that's exactly what she did too.
Just how the hell did somebody die at the hands of a prop gun? Aren't they?
Because a bullet was lodged in it previously, and they didn't know it. So when they put the blank in, there was just enough powder in there that it propelled the bullet into him. They did not double check the gun before they used it. And actually, that was because some idiot prop guy, but they went into a pawn store to get props for the pawn store scene. And one of the things that they grabbed was ammo. And the stunt coordinator flipped out because they bought live ammo for on the set, and that was not allowed. So he put it in the trunk of his car. This is a story that I saw. So, Jerry, if I'm wrong, feel free to correct me. But he put it in
all different stories. There's never been nothing definitive of what came out of what really, aside from the fact that they were shooting some additional scenes. Because the movie was done. They were just shooting some add-on stuff just in case if they wanted to make the movie a little longer. And the scene involved one of the henchmen to shoot Brandon Lee.
Yeah.
And so they gave him the prop gun. And one of the stories that I heard was that they put too much powder in the cartridge. So it propelled part of the cartridge into Brandon Lee's stomach. And that's what killed him.
Yeah.
Because when he fell over, they were like, "Oh, he's just acting." But
yeah. And that scene is it killed him. Yeah, and that scene where he gets shot and doubles over like that is actually him getting shot and dying. They kept it in the movie.
No, they didn't.
No, I thought it was.
No, that was an old tale that they said. No,
okay.
It was extra scenes that were being shot to be added in, but they never did. Brandon Lee's grandmother, Bruce Lee's wife, destroyed the film, so that way it would never see the light of day.
Oh, okay. I go by what I hear, but I think you're right.
No, it's like everything else, you hear a lot of these things. It's like what happened with Red Fox. Everybody's seen Sanford and Son, right?
Yeah.
He'd be like, "I'm coming to join you, Elizabeth." And
yeah.
Here he is having lunch with Della Reese and a few others, and he goes, and he keels over, and they all burst out laughing because they thought he was just joking, but he had a heart attack.
Yeah.
And he ended up dying because of it.
Well, what gets me is that Twilight Zone movie they did about 40 years ago, and that actor Vic Moore and those two kids in that helicopter.
Even the two kids got killed with a helicopter.
That one got me.
Yeah. And they saved the film only because they had to use it for court. Because when the parents of the two Vietnamese kids brought the studio to court, saying that it was an unsafe set and everything.
Yeah.
They had to show the footage of them being killed when the helicopter landed wrong, and instead of tilting to the right, it tilted to the left, and the blade came across and cut him in half and decapitated the two kids.
That is a horrible way to go, especially on film. Oh my God.
Yeah. And on that bombshell,
he's going to bed.
I'm going to bed.
Out here. Say hi to Becca first.
Hi, Becca.
Hi, Becca. Why do you always go to bed whenever she comes on?
Right? She's going to start getting a complex.
Yeah.
I've been on 3.5 hours. I'm knackered.
True.
Yeah, it's 5 o'clock in the morning here.
Yeah,
it's 6 o'clock here.
Ugh.
Bed, Fluffy.
I'm going to.
But thank you for coming live so we could all talk.
Yeah.
Becca needs to come on earlier.
Yeah, Becca, you need to get here sooner.
I remembered my train of thought.
Yeah.
My favorite Robin Williams was Doubtfire.
Yeah,
Flubber. Yeah, Flubber.
You gotta watch him in 1 hour photo.
Anyway, night everybody in the chat.
Night, everybody.
Hello.
Night, everyone.
All right.